No intro. My name is Paul, and with me is Nathan and Hank.
Yo.
I think you should just Hank and special occasional person. Or not special. That's debatable. That sounds egotistical. But, hi, I'm Nathan. I'm here now, this time.
You're kind of
Who
egotistical, though.
It's true.
Egotestical, even.
Well, okay. See, I'll accept that as Barb, because it's a little depreciating, and that brings the ego back down.
Right.
You were dubbed Ripsor in your absence.
Yeah.
Ripsor?
Yeah, like
R.I.P.
when we decided to kind of come
Krasnor.
back and do this more regularly, one of the first things is like, where's Nathan? Like, rest in peace. It's like, no, not rest in peace. He's not fucking dead. Like, I just talked to him. He's fine. Everything's fine. He'll be here when he's able to or wants to or whatever. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But no, since I'm not tweeting all the time either, like, I must be dead. That's the only solution.
I see you jump on every now and then.
A little bit. Sometimes during online hour or when I'm at work on occasion. So, yeah. Between 1 and 2 p.m., that's when I allow the internet to creep in here. And then I go, put it away. Because I will spend all day if I had a problem. I don't know. Like a Reddit problem or something. All of it was just getting up in my head all the time. So it's just like, no, I'll just put this down. I've been reading a lot more books. It was almost that Cable Guy moment of just like, oh, well, this is dead now. What do I do now? Oh, hey, here's a copy of Moby Dick. And start reading it. Moby Dick's boring, though.
Are you done it yet, or what?
No. I'm, like, halfway through it, and then I've read 4 novels to, like, not have to keep reading it. Like, Herman Melville is so obsessed about weird minutia details about whale hunting that I just, like, this is so boring. I will read this entire novella instead. I will read, like, all of Mrs. Dalloway, which is this Virginia Woolf, like, stream of consciousness novel that I was supposed to read, like, 5 years ago in English class and didn't. So then I'm just like, I'll read it now. Anything is an escape from Melville's incredible dry.
Well, I mean, you read me, like, you were saying, like, okay, this, I remember at work, you're just like, okay, so this stuff happened in the last chapter. This is, like, the start of the next one, or, like, the next paragraph after that. It's just, like, something, like, ripped out of a fucking essay or something about whales. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
There's so much, like, it's weird, like, I'm trying to justify why there's these chapters exist, and I can only assume, like, it's like this book predates, like, photography and, like, a bunch of stuff, so people don't know what whales look like. Like, they have no concept of what you're talking about if they don't live near the ocean. So he feels like I need to explain what we're getting at here, and starts just talking about like paintings and woodcuts and poems and all sorts of other media about whales. And is just kind of going through, like, this one's pretty accurate, this one's not, this one's kind of right, but the proportions are wrong, and, like, just, like, super dry, giant monologues about whale media. And it's just like, I believed you. Like, it's dangerous. I've seen a picture of a sperm whale. I know what we're talking about. Let's go. And it's just like, no. I gotta explain. I gotta make sure you know what we're talking about here. And
do you know what he's talking about now, then?
I feel like I do, but
like
Ishmael's not convinced, and he's going to keep going. So I'm at, like, the halfway point. It's, like, 507 pages. I'm at, like, 260 or something. So I don't know. I don't know why I feel, like, weirdly obligated. It's, like, one of those classics that is just legendary already somehow. And it's just like, okay, like, Man versus Nature, I know. But it's not that. It's, like, it's reminding me of some of, like, the darkest times I had with Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, of just, like, this is just, like, its own agenda. Like, the author's voice is heard, not the character at all. This is just Herman Melville being crazily obsessive about this topic he knows, and that's not fun reading at all. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not an English professor, just a, Bachelor of Arts or whatever. What's that count for? But this book is a tough slog. This is the, like, unabridged, unaltered, original 1840s, whatever. So maybe it's been, like, made more approachable in subsequent publications or something. Like, let's tidy this up, relegate this to a footnote or something, or an afterword. But I don't know. Books.
Yeah.
So you're saying Herman Melville, what he really needed was a podcast about whales.
He would have filled so many hours about
The daily podcast of whales.
Just like, I found a new painting in a pub, and I'm going to describe it to you in detail and whatever. Yeah, like, it's like really great vocabulary and stuff. Like, it is like dense language, and there's some kind of nice witty stuff in there. But like, yeah, it is about a topic that is it's not like super foreign to me, of just like, oh, whales and ships and everything, but he's convinced I'm a total rube and don't know anything about it, so I don't know.
Hank, whales, for or against?
Oh,
that's the wrong answer. Anyways, keep going.
Are you just Paul, whales, for or against?
Fuck them.
Oh, okay. They're too big, or what's the problem?
I hate anything that lives under the ocean that's big and scary.
Okay.
Except
Squids
for Godzilla. I love Godzilla.
And he's kind of on an island a lot of the time, too.
I mean, he's nowhere near me. Fuck him.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I really like that whale in Pinocchio.
Monstro's
great.
Yeah.
And that movie's like 90 minutes.
And that is some amazing animation for that part, too.
Yep.
Really, really well done.
I guess speaking of Walt Disney classics, I watched Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Which maybe doesn't fit.
All right, I'm ending this call.
No!
No, I saw that a long time ago, and I don't remember liking it at all, so I haven't seen it since.
It's like nothing special at all. It's more just like I'm kind of going down this like 80s nostalgia investigation of just like, what? Like, these are big Touchstone Kids movies, some of them. Like, less so Black Cauldron, but I also watched The Neverending Story for the first time. I'd never seen it. And that holds up okay, I felt, except like the last 5 minutes is ridiculous.
That fucking horse, man. It was depressed.
That is sad, yeah. And I was also just like, oh, Team Eco just watched this movie over and over and just made both of their games based on it, basically.
What was that horse's name again?
Artax.
Artax.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Fairfax? I think Fairfax is a place in London.
That's okay. Maybe you're right. What was Gandalf's horse's name? Shadowfax. Okay, so facts and horse names and fantasy. That movie's great until like the last 5 minutes when it's just nothing makes sense anymore and Falkor is just real and he's chasing bullies into a dumpster and it's like this was about the importance of imagination and stuff. Like, this isn't actually literally happening, and then the end of the movie is just like, no, it is. And does he patch things up with his dad? Who cares? Credits. Like, his dad's at the beginning, like, saying like, you need to take things more seriously, son. Your mom's been gone for a long time, whatever. And then they kind of set that up and then don't close that off. And then 2 sequels were the result of that open-ended
I've
nature.
never seen them.
We have the second one, but I'm told it's bad. But George Miller made it, and that's weird. But the Mad Max guy, so I don't know. But
I think
Hank, Neverending Story.
I think the third Neverending Story has like a scene with the rock biter riding on a bicycle to head out on the highway playing.
What?
That's great.
But he's huge. Does he like come into our dimension and he's a regular sized guy?
No. It was. I forget how it works. It's real bad. It's real bad.
And they'd obviously need to recast everybody because it's like 7 years later, and it's supposed to be the same kid. So it just seems like
they do recast him.
And then
also, Jack Black is in Neverending Story 3 as a minor character.
Okay.
So yeah, 80s kids classics. I don't know. Yeah, just briefly back to Black Cauldron. It's kind of just a nothing fantasy adventure thing. There's a pig that can see the future, which is kind of cool, but then they just don't care about that pig past like the 30-minute mark, so it's just not there. Mm-hmm. And they add other characters, and this kind of annoying kid goes on this quest. And John Hurt is the bad guy, though, and that guy's kind of cool. The Horned King. He's like this weird skeleton guy with like antlers and a hood. But the hood is through his antlers, so he could never remove the hood ever. It's design choices, but I don't know. It was a 80s animated thing that no one cared about, and people don't now either. So let's just not worry about that.
Sure.
But the reason I was looking into all of this stuff, including war games, was I read a book called Ready Player One.
Dude, that's really weird that you bring that up, because I got that in last month's Loot Crate, and it is in my backpack ready to read at some point if I want to.
It's like scarily pertinent to just our generation's obsessions and what we're into, but like 20, 30 years in the future when the world is just obsessed with video games. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of over, though, because we're like too narrowly focused on entertaining ourselves as opposed to like, maintaining anything. So society is crumbling.
This sounds like a book you fucking wrote.
Well, sort of, except it's like this weird fine line where it's like, is this aware of like it's still mining like pop culture stuff and like references to stuff for just entertainment value, but then it's also a little bit cynical about where things are. So I don't know. It was definitely a page turner for me, though. Like, I was like, I have to finish reading this. Like, every page has like some little trinket or thing I know. Like, it was speaking my language, like, exactly. Like, it's just like this movie, conversations I've literally had, like, about Lady Hawk and whatever. Like, just like weird stuff that nerds talk about is the dialogue of this whole book. And then, like, it's just quoting tons of stuff. Like, it's like, oh, like, this prison I was in looked like this, from THX 1138. I'm just like, I do know what you're talking about, and that's stupid.
God damn.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
This book sounds like Nathan the Book.
It's interesting, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if I'd grade it as, like, yes, this is great stuff, or if it's like, this is kind of cheating. Like, it's just referencing stuff all the time. It's almost like a mashup. Sure. Or it was reminding me of kind of like, there was this time when I was listening to a lot of girl talk, and now I can't stand it anymore. Because it's just like, I'm just using stuff that was creative from before and repurposing it
and then
into
changing the
new
beat,
entertainment.
Really. That's all they're really doing.
It's like, none of this is unique, really. Like, the stuff that's like unique to this book is pretty thin. It's just kind of based on a lot of things you already know about. Like, it's like, this thing was kind of like World of Warcraft, and this thing was kind of like Tron, and this thing was kind of like War Games, and this thing was kind of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And you're just like, okay, like, this is painting images in my head because I've seen all these movies and read all that stuff and know what you're talking about. But, like, what are you bringing to the table? Like, I know...
Unique is overrated. Unique sucks.
I don't know. I guess. But, like, this kind of demonstrates that you can make me read a whole book greedily without any kind of, like, super unique
it's because
thing.
they know that you did the work already. So they don't have to. They don't have to bother trying to explain something in depth, like say Shakespeare would maybe have to if he wrote a book about video games. This has gone way off track of what I was originally intending, but the fact is, it's written about pop culture because you did all the work, and they just have to reference it now.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's where we're at now. Everyone knows what you're talking about.
Coach me in the chat saying worth a buy. I've been hearing about that book, but not if it's good or bad. So
it's a page turner. I don't know.
Okay,
like that's like a thing I would say.
I think that is literally one of the things on the book. Like, I think somebody actually says, like, I just couldn't stop reading it.
Some of the quotes on the book were my least favorite thing about the book. Like, it's like, I don't give a fuck what Wired thought about this. Like, can I just tear this off? Like, IO9 was saying...
IO9?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't
Gawker Media says it's the best book ever written. It's like, well, then it goes in the barrel.
Just, the kind of stuff...
At Will Wheaton says, I couldn't stop reading.
Dude,
Will Wheaton narrated the audiobook. It's like the third sentence in the Wikipedia article.
Hold on. Let me find my copy.
There is like a specific line in the book about Will Wheaton and what he's doing in 2030 that was like, fuck, this could happen, and then just keep reading. Like, it's interesting. For our demographic specifically, there's stuff to appreciate and maybe soul search a bit after, like, wow, this has me down to like a T. I better watch out. That's the exact same copy. So what dumb quotes are on there?
Okay, so it starts off fine. At the very front, it just says, well, it doesn't start off fine. It's still kind of a shitty quote.
I hate the front quote, too.
It's from USA Today, so that's an actual thing, at least. But the quote is, enchanting. Willy Wonka meets the Matrix.
What?
I hated that. It's not that at all.
Honestly, when I read that, I was just like, I'm going to be disappointed if this is actually Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. This is going to be bad.
I got the golden ticket. I get to play the arcade game, or the golden quarter. Like, no, they don't. It's not.
Okay, what's the next biggest one here? CNN.com. Sure, CNN. They're a news network. They have opinions.
Not really, but...
An addictive read. Part intergalactic scavenger hunt, part romance, and all heart.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's a decent summation of what's in there. The treasure hunt, like the race for what's going on, like, yeah, there's some good stuff.
Okay, how about Entertainment Weekly says, as one adventure leads expertly to the next, time simply evaporates. What does that even fucking mean?
Well, like, it just keeps you hooked and keeps you pulled in. It's true. Like, I was reading for long sessions with this one. Like, it took me 2-3 days to just barrel through
The Boston Globe says, a most excellent ride. Klein stuffs his novel with a cornucopia of pop culture as if to wink to the reader.
It's not so much a wink at all. Like, it's like, it's super. I don't know what is more like overt than a wink. It is like a punch. Like, it's just like
a punch is not a little more overt than a wink.
Whatever. It doesn't let you miss it. Like, it's like, no, this is about its cornucopia of references. Like,
one of these shove you in the side with their elbow.
Shot in the arm. I don't know. It's.
Should we see what boingboing.net says?
I don't know what that is.
I have to know.
A rollicking, surprise-laden, pot-boiling, thrilling adventure story.
Thrilliant?
Thrilling.
Okay. I thought they made up a new word.
Thrilling's amazing. We're gonna use that every day now.
Yep. That would be my contribution to the cover. Thrilliant.
BurningBarrel.co says thrilliant.
Anyway, yeah, Ready Player One. It came out like 3-4 years ago. I've definitely
came out in 2011.
Yeah, I've heard people bring it up in like other corners, but I don't know. I just never got around to it.
Should I just turn to a random page and read something? We'll see.
No. What? No. Like it builds up good. It's structured well. So I don't rob yourself of a revelation or whatever. Like, even though it's all kind of.
Oh no. So
What?
This Suxor is central, huh?
Okay.
That is an actual line in here. The O is a 0. There is a Z. And A is put in there. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just get the cue that you need to quiet down?
Yeah, I'm too excited. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I'll try to dial it down a bit.
Okay.
NPR style.
NPR said something about this. They said, ridiculously fun and large-hearted, Klein is that rare writer who can translate his own dorky enthusiasms into prose that's both hilarious and compassionate.
Okay. These are, yeah, all right. I'll let that slide.
How about
That's
Delightful, the grown-ups Harry Potter by the Huffington Post?
I don't think it's similar to Harry Potter.
You know, the Huffington Post, the Naked Girl website.
Is that what they do?
I don't know, probably. I think they're actually just like a trashy zine thing, like a TMZ.
No, they do real reporting too.
No,
but
don't.
Fucking
no one on the
website.
internet does real reporting. Hashtag Gamergate, it's about ethics and journalism.
Yes. And yeah, I tried, but hey, paper journalism isn't allowed anymore because Fast Forward's going under. Like, local entertainment rag can't get that anymore.
Dude, it is a fucking rag.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, no, it's not.
One. We got the last one. See, it's all like snarky about communism. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Artemis 52nd level warrior / mage vehicle sold separately. I'm putting this book down.
Okay, it builds up how the game works in like the opening chapters. So by the time you get to that stuff, it's just like, yeah, okay. It's kind of okay. It's the game it describes isn't creative exactly. It's just like that could happen. Like, it's just a game that just eats other games. Like, it's just like, yeah, oh yeah, Azeroth's over there. We just put it in the game. Like, it's there. Matrix is over there. Go over there.
Where's Willy Wonka?
oh, it's over here. There's another planet that has that. Like, they don't literally bring it up, but it's just like, it's basically just the replacement for the internet. Like, it is like, what if we had visors and like haptic gloves and stuff, and that was how we now interacted with the internet? It's like if Google made just an all-inclusive pop culture game that has everything. And why wouldn't they do that? Like, just license everything. It's just like, I'll go over here, it's the Lego planet, and I'll go over here, and it's the Kojipan planet. Who made this one? I don't know. Someone who wanted to cater to Nathan's interests. And that's fine. It's my background literally right now. It's anime. But whatever. Like, it's just, that could happen. Like, it's just, like, the way fandoms are going right now, where everyone's just, like, getting super excited and going to conventions and all this stuff, it's just like, a game that caters to this world with their interests, that could happen. Why not? So licensing everything, I guess, would be the stumbling block. But if it's all user-created content, then I don't know. Like, does that skirt the line?
So like, Google makes a game and Steam Workshop is like the platform in which people add to it?
Sure. And they just put everything there. And it's just like, okay. Like,
dude, that
Minecraft
Steam Workshop is
there.
pretty big.
Yeah, I guess it's starting to happen. Like, give it 20 more years, dude. Like, Gabe is James Halliday. That, like, this fucking already is going to go down. Oh, anyway, it was an interesting book. A lot of parallels.
What if Burning Barrel was in that world? Would it be just a bar?
I don't know.
It would probably literally be a burning barrel in this
Well,
world.
I mean, it's like users can create their own, like, little custom chat room area or whatever. So it'd be like, yeah, we could just have our own little weird hub in there and invite users into it. Because of the, like, groundwork we have from just playing a bunch of video games and watching a bunch of movies, it's like super easy to just imagine all of the stuff it describes. Like, it's just like, oh, it was designed like a wood paneled 80s basement with every video game console ever made. And it's just like, oh yeah, done. That thing I wanted to do. Like, fuck. Like, there it is. It's just like, and then, yeah, these dudes are hanging out in the corner talking about why the Lady Hawk soundtrack is lame. And it's just like, dude, that fucking happened. Like, shit. Oh, like, it's spooky. But I don't know. That's what's going on.
So is it worth a buy? We still haven't answered that question, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you are, like, someone who like, that's the thing. I don't know where the cutoff is. Like, if it's like for 20 to 30-year-old people, like, or 35 maybe, where it's like, classic video games too. So, like, you have that groundwork, because it leans on that stuff pretty hard. Also 80s movies and stuff. So if you're a bit younger, it might just be stuff you've heard about. Like, if you haven't seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, don't read this. I don't know. Like, that's a weird
requisite, but
there are specific things that you will need to know about some of these things in order to know what they're talking about. And it's like, I guess they sort of describe it for you in case you didn't know, but then they might be kind of ruining this movie for you. Like, it's weird. But I guess they're just assuming these ones are so broad-based, everyone's seen this by now.
So, like, Star Wars?
Star Wars comes up. They have that the trilogy debate. They talk about John Hughes movies, which I was just watching a bunch of those, so that was weird. It was just like, oh, I have an opinion about Pretty in Pink versus Some Kind of Wonderful. Okay.
That is actually on the internet.
Yeah, that is a thing that people have debated for decades by the time the book is set. But at this point, it's been, 15, 20 years of internet talk about that? Yeah. But I'll stop it there. Yes, sure. If what we've been saying thus far makes sense, you should read it. There's like, oh, I've heard of all of these movies and things. It's like, okay, well, they weave them into an interesting cornucopia of pop culture references or whatever. So,
God damn it.
Yeah, check it out. I don't know who I just stole from, but somebody on there.
I have to look it up because now I think we owe them royalties or something.
No, that's quoting their quote, and we cited them before. It's fine.
Sorry, Boston Globe.
No, but they got it. That's fine. I love the word cornucopia also. So
it's a great cornucopia.
Yeah. Ready Player One. I wouldn't put it in the barrel. It's too weird. Like, it's too relevant somehow.
Okay, fair enough.
So no barrel for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to be quiet. What have you guys been doing? I've been talked for a while. I'll try to.
I love that
egg
off
on.
camera. You got the cue to zip.
Dude, brilliant. I'm still happy about that. That was an accident, but okay.
Okay.
I'll write that down.
Hank, what do you think about a cornucopia of pop culture references?
That's a little bit of overwriting.
Just a little bit.
Well, they're paid to review stuff. They got to make it lively.
That is
make it good.
That's a dying form right there. Being paid to review something.
Yeah. Maybe good? I don't know.
Reviews are kind of the worst.
They're kind of not content. They're just opinions.
They're not even. They're fluff pieces. And I know because I've had to do them before for sites, and they suck. They are time-consuming, people get mad at you, and they don't pay nearly as much as people might think they do. They don't pay like anything.
Yeah. I mean, I reviewed movies for a bit, and it was just, well, your pay was the movie ticket, and you get to have your words heard. But it's like, but they can only be 500 of those words. And we're going to kind of edit them after the fact anyway. And yeah, it was kind of...
Beetroot calling you out. You're
No,
dying form.
I didn't say who it was, but now you did, so fine. What he said was true. It was Beetroot. But they don't even have my stuff online anymore. They don't keep like a deep online archive. So all I have now are just like my Word versions, like my initial drafts of them. So it's just like, I was published in this thing, but...
That's really weird.
There's no evidence to that effect.
Dude, I remember I was like, you know what? Like when we were doing some more stuff, I'm like, I was going to rip those from Beetroot and put them up and like originally publish on Beetroot, like give due credit and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but they're
for
just
under
not
your
there.
name.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like nothing there. Like
it goes back like maybe 2 years.
Their site is fucking terrible, and the only reviews there are for like Terminator and dumb shit that everybody would have seen anyways, or like went to an actual publication to read about.
Or the ones that I always found were weird were reviews of concerts, because it's just like, well,
like I had a good time because I like the music. It's like this is
but it's also like, well, I can't go to it. That happened like 3 days ago when you saw it. They're gone now. Like if I see them again, who knows if they'll be as good or whatever. Like it's a live event. Why review it?
Case in point. You got fucked when you went to go see Nine Inch Nails because there wasn't like the elaborate setup they have at every other venue ever for some reason.
I was really underwhelmed. It was like, oh, so it's like a rock concert? Has everyone just been like in this little club and they really like these songs and that's what they're imagining it.
Generally, yes. If you go to see a band, you like most of the songs, but
see, that was my first mistake.
Yeah, that's a big problem. That's kind of where you fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
What was that 80s band you showed me? Like, where he was happy back
Option
when Trent...
30.
Yeah. That was interesting. Just like, oh, like, he can
Their cover of Der Kommissar. It's so good.
Enjoyable jams, also.
Oh, come around. Uh-oh. It's so good.
Like, weirdly out of character for later. But, yeah it's fun. But okay, sorry. Beetroot reviews. How did we get here?
I don't know, Hank. What the fuck have you been doing?
I've been playing a lot of City Skylines.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. In fact, last night we played 7 hours worth or something stupid.
Yeah. A lot of City Skylines.
So for Nathan, who looks really perplexed right now, City Skylines is a good SimCity.
Oh, okay. I was assuming it was going to be some sort of SimCity-esque experience, but okay. Yeah. Like multiplayer, obviously, if you were both playing.
No, we were just both playing games.
Separate games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just chatting while playing, because it's a good game
so
to be. It's like a city management game. It's basically SimCity, except everything works.
So residential zones, industrial,
Yep, you
electricity.
Have to put all your water pipes down, make sure everything's connected, electricity. The big thing is traffic becomes a huge issue as you get into the later game. Because if your roads aren't big enough and there's too many people trying to get through, just traffic will back up all like the way to the highway.
Those garbage trucks can't get through, man. That road was too small. Nobody could get their garbage out, and people were dying from terrible diseases.
Yeah, if your traffic's bad, your city will be full of corpses that aren't getting picked up by anyone.
Oh, that's
You just
grim
have
problems.
skulls everywhere over your. So I looked into the company that made it a bit, and basically their previous games were.
Well, it's Paradox.
But it's published by Paradox, but it was developed by this developer, Colossal Order, who they've made these games City in Motion, which are just public transportation sims. Okay. So basically, it looks like they expanded out from those games into what Cities Skylines has become. Like all that stat tracking stuff is because they had games that were interested in like following a person to work and like getting them from place to place. Like that's where this game. That's its origins, basically. But those games have like really mixed reviews on Steam because I guess they're heavily DLC based. They went like the Euro Truck Simulator way with them. So the people that play them are only appealing to crazy people instead of this is like trying to fill the gap that was obviously there when EA SimCity was such a disaster. But my favorite was there's a review like there's one of the top Steam reviews for Cities in Motion 2 is like this guy has played 127.9 hours of the game and gave it a negative review.
What did he hate about it? How much of his life it took up, apparently?
Game is DLC based. The ups are not realistic. Vehicles leave without being full when people are obviously running the stop. Cars are stupid. They do not take advantage of multiple lanes, which they still don't in City Skylines.
It's true, but they don't. They like that right lane.
I could see how that would be a fucking deal breaker in a game that was just about the transportation and building roadways. Like, there's enough of the game that you can deal with it, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that that's still a problem they're having.
Yeah.
And also there was like stuff where when you built roads in that game, it would just automatically generate town stuff. So apparently like there would be too many schools when you built a new road. So you'd have to like just delete them and then other stuff would get built.
That's weird really glitches. Weird. Huh.
Yeah.
I really like that problem you were having where there was always a crime wave at your like playground.
Yeah, the crime rate always goes up. I have these small playgrounds around my city, and they always have crime problems. Nowhere else in my city had crime problems, and nowhere in my city should have had crime problems because I have plenty of police stations, but small parks, man. Crime also, sets up there.
A dead body was found there.
Yeah, it was crime, and then there was a dead body.
I just assumed perverts of some kind, but okay. Well, like, what else would be going on? That's
also great. The small playground that I had directly across the street from a nuclear power plant, and then there was a dead body there.
Yeah. City planning. It's okay. How recent is this? Is this a hot new hit? I don't.
Yeah,
like
just
this week. Last week.
Oh, okay.
It's like really popular.
It's quite good too. I couldn't really put my finger on what made it better than SimCity. For one thing, I personally feel like it has a charisma that SimCity hasn't had in generations for me at all.
SimCity has like a forced like joy that's like that fake creepy smile. It feels like a lot of the time with a lot of Maxis games. It's like trying to be happy, but you feel like it's dead inside.
That started kind of with The Sims almost.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, they're these weird people, but it's like they're weird golems, like golden, hollow, weird. Yeah. Okay, and I guess if they carried that into their, but with SimCity 4, that one was supposed to be good, but I didn't play it, so I can't really say.
I haven't either, but I heard nothing but negative things about
that
one.
So I guess part of what I've heard what went wrong with the SimCity stuff was like they got too into like weird like sewage management and like subterranean power lines and stuff. Does this have
the thing with
kind of weird depth? Like
the thing with the EA SimCity was towns had to be specialized. You couldn't have a city that did everything. You had to. It was all about connecting. Connecting cities. So this one, you can do everything in your city, and you get a lot of land. Like as your city increases, you get a lot of space to work with. So you can basically do all the things you want to do in one city.
Is it kind of overcomplicated though, or is it?
No, because it doles out stuff to you as your city gets bigger.
Okay.
So like as you hit population milestones, like now you unlock like monuments and stuff and weird stuff and more.
That is, like, monuments are like literally late game though.
Yeah.
That is quite far. Like a better example would be when you have just like a small town or like a fledgling town, you'll have say a medical center or whatever. But then as you get a little bit bigger, you will get a hospital, and then like you will get
a cemetery. You unlock a cemetery. Like, you don't even have to deal with the dead bodies thing till you reach a certain population.
Yeah, so it slowly feeds you stuff, and it's streamlined enough that you can kind of just figure out what you're doing at all times. Like, there's big area of effect things when you're trying to put down pipe and, like, power lines and stuff like that. So you just kind of have to get things kind of in the correct area. There's a, like, power grid that when powers, say, like, you have a street or whatever, and there's a power line only going to the house at the end of the street. That's all you need, because like as houses built beside that house, they will share the same power grid, so you don't need to just run lines everywhere. Like they have enough in there that you have to customize some stuff to make sure things work, but they streamline it enough that like once you do the basics, it'll just make a lot of it work. And it's easy to find out if there's any problems later on down the line with, like, some stuff you've done and all that sort of thing. So it's all very real-time as well. So the economy management stuff and, like, budgeting for your city, like, budgeting costs and doing, like, weird city things like legalizing marijuana, for example, or, like the ramifications are pretty much instant. The tax breaks and tax hikes and all that stuff. So everything feels very much in real time, and you can kind of... Well, I kind of fucked myself last night. I raised taxes, and I was just like, this is the best way to get money ever. Look at these idiots, and just, like, paying 29%. And then, like, I just was hiking it up while they were paying, like, shitloads of money, and then I would put it back down before they got too mad, and I thought I was a genius. But the game took that into account. They're just like, no, people are pissed. They are leaving, and you are losing thousands upon thousands of dollars every day now. And I went into bankruptcy almost. Like, it got real bad really fast. Who would have thought if you piss off, like, what was it at that time? Maybe, like, 30,000 people, and they start leaving? Your economy's going to be fucked. So, who would have thought? Businesses started closing down because they couldn't, like, make tax payments. Like, the small businesses just, like, started dropping. It was real bad. But... I think the thing I like about cities the most is the fact that everything is randomized, but everything in it is a separate entity. So, like, you see people walking down the street, you can click on that person, it'll say, like, their profile, their bio. It'll say, her, like, this person's name, where she's going to school, if she's employed, which residence she lives in, where she's going right now. Like, oh, she's going to the school to study, then she walks into the school, and then she's, like, gone for a bit, and then she'll come back out later. You can follow cars around, and... I had this weird, suspicious donut van that was owned by Print Shop, delivering quote-unquote donuts to the industrial area of town.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, like, a lot of weird little things that make it feel like it's an actual world you're creating. And there's also this nice aesthetic. We were talking about it yesterday. It reminds me of, if you remember I have to relate everything for Nathan to something he might have seen so he can paint the picture in his mind a little bit. You know the beginning of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with, like, the little toy cars and stuff and the camera, the miniatures? Yeah, It has that look when you zoom in, and it's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's, like, it has a charisma about it. It's really, really charming in a way SimCity hasn't been... Maybe ever, for me.
I guess I played a lot of the Super Nintendo port of the original SimCity, so I don't know.
But I feel like what SimCity was really good at was disasters, like wrecking your shit afterwards.
Oh no, Bowser's coming. That was mine. That was the one in the Super Nintendo one. But I guess, yeah, just tornadoes and floods and fires and whatever. But does that happen? Like, just spontaneous?
Nope.
No, and the weird thing is...
Fires even?
Yeah.
Like, fires happen.
Dude, don't even talk to me about fires. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. The industrial area guys always burn down every building because they're dumb. They're just stupid industrial people.
Yep.
You
Sounds
know what
about
it's like.
Yeah. I know. Folks, yes, yeah, fires could happen.
But, like, I'm glad there's no disasters in this game because I like my city and I like building it so much that it would actually suck to have Bowser come in and start ripping my shit apart. Like, I wouldn't like that at all. So it's kind of a different feeling I'm getting from it.
Is this game full of DLC and weird little micropayments and stuff, or no?
Nope.
No.
It's got tons of workshop support for people who are just creating stuff that I haven't really dived into yet, but that's like another side of it that once I get tired of building a city I can look into, which also was appealing when I was looking at it.
You purchase the video game and you have the video game and
Yeah.
That's
okay.
it.
Because that's what people obviously wanted from a SimCity game. Like, they saw a hole in the market and went, okay, we'll just do this.
And it, what, 40, 50 bucks, 30 bucks, 100 bucks? What does it cost?
It's 30 normal.
Okay, 30.
Yeah.
Could be 100 bucks. I don't know what games are doing nowadays. Steam could have just been like,
There are-
whatever.
That's only Evolve.
There are games that are selling for... Oh, Mortal Kombat X. Holy shit. They are...
What?
Does it?
Is it a digital deluxe edition or something? Or
Okay. Vamp for a second while I look this up because there's a list of problems. There's about 5 different versions and they all cost increasing prices.
They announced a new
Nice.
Mortal Kombat. I don't even know this. This is exciting new news for me.
Yeah,
so
Jason's going to be in it. They also announced.
Yeah, Jason Voorhees will definitely be in it.
Well,
So
they wanted
Freddy
Jason
was in the last one.
Yeah. It's basically they
So-
took them so long to settle the licensing deal to get Jason into 9 that they're just going to end up putting him in 10 instead.
But is Jason and are they going to fight like in that?
I don't think so. Doesn't sound like it.
That movie's so good.
It's pretty good.
That-
I know it's like a 12-year-old New Line release. Like, who cares? But
I care.
I know. Yeah, 2 people at least. Okay. I didn't get Freddy though because I heard it was whatever. Like, wasn't it Jackie or like Earl Haley? It wasn't even Robert Englund.
That's right.
Isn't that true? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I did get that, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to find a list.
Okay.
Ugh, it's annoying. Anyways, I'll give you the gist of it. There's, like, the normal game, then there's, like, a special edition that I think is, like, $100 or whatever. Like, the normal game is the regular 70 for us Canadian and, like, $100 or whatever for the special edition. There's a $120 edition with a statue, and there are multiple different versions of this statue. So if you are a Mortal Kombat fanatic and you want all 3 statues, you have to go to 3 different places to buy an $120 statue at each one of these places. And then there's a $160, I want to say, like Ultimate Edition, and then like a $200 edition as well.
Collector's edition?
Also, the $200 edition does not contain some of the stuff in the other editions.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I was just like, why doesn't the $200 one just have all 3 statues?
Because you have to go to GameStop if you want Scorpion. What is it? Cold War era Scorpion? That's not even a joke. That is one of the things.
Fucking retailer exclusives.
There's like there's the new Scorpion, which will be like the one that's probably available everywhere with like. He looks like he's wearing a black hoodie or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, if you are that kind of weird, compulsive Mortal Kombat fan, though, like, I don't have much sympathy. Like, that's a crazy problem you have. Don't spend thousands of dollars on Mortal Kombat merch. What's wrong with you? It's not that great.
Like, maybe buy a t-shirt or something?
Yeah, just walk around with like a Scorpion t-shirt and just know in your heart that you are the biggest fan in the world. Like, you don't need to bend over for this. That's terrible. But are you going to do that? Like, you're not going to do that. You don't care.
Me?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
See, I'm not a retard. So I know that after 6 months after this game comes out, those statues are not limited edition. They will be at every fucking GameStop for $20, and people still will not pick them up.
It'll be like the Prey special edition that was everywhere.
Yeah, there was that. There was a special edition of the Metal Gear games. There was the Resistance special editions. There was a special edition for Killzone. There is a special edition for, like, every game, and they never fucking go out of stock, ever. They only go down in price, and people still don't buy them because they were a bad idea, and they should feel super fucking stupid for doing it.
Yeah. But even so, like, trying to prey on people's loyalty and enthusiasm, that's kind of dumb. Like,
yeah. It is.
Give them a better option to give you their money. But I don't know. Mortal Kombat. That last one was fine, but...
Oh, you mean Annihilation? It's a great movie. You're right.
Yeah, well, I have that. I have yet to watch it. I'm sure.
You still haven't watched it?
It's in 4:3. I don't want to rob myself of the majesty.
That is probably the most truthful explanation I've ever heard, and I agree with you. You should probably see it in a theater.
I'm waiting for the.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Vote for it now.
When's the 10-year anniversary of Annihilation?
It was probably like 10 years ago.
It's the 20-year anniversary.
It came out in 98, 99 or something. So give it 3-4 years. The 20-year anniversary of Annihilation coming soon.
Look, I saw the Super Mario Brothers in theaters for whatever anniversary it was.
That movie hilarious. Is okay if it didn't have Super Mario Brothers on it.
It's hilarious, even more hilarious because it does.
That's fair.
That they made the Goombas giant things with tiny heads. That's what Goombas are. Tiny heads.
And the Bob-ombs are just like these tiny little keychain things.
They're terrifying. Everyone runs.
Yeah.
It's oh no, it's a Bob-omb. Clear the streets.
Looks like a Bob-omb.
It did. But then they have those jump boots that they put a bullet bill in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird 90s treasure. I own it with pride. It's fine. I would have seen it in theater. That didn't happen here. I can't imagine that happened here. In 2013, someone's just we'll set up a screen for this.
Dude, they don't show any movies longer than a month here. Or ever revisit. Sometimes you get Aliens back in a theater.
Well, I saw Monster Squad in a theater for the digital film festival.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But that was the only movie I saw this time around with that kind of nostalgia thing. Darkman was playing too, but I was busy that day.
Yeah.
So, yep. 25th year anniversary for that one.
Anyway, City Skylines is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And video games
will devour your life if you let it.
Yeah.
Oh man! So speaking about
just keep playing.
Speaking about games, I felt I had a weird personal just discovery moment with Majora's Mask.
Okay.
I've been saying for years that game is one of the greatest things that's ever happened, and it's so good and it's so amazing.
That's a fallacy, but okay.
You can't go home again. I can't play that game anymore. That game is bad. It's a bad game.
Okay.
And I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I bought a new 3DS and was there in line and got 3/4 through the game, and it was just kind of I have done so much tedious shit in this game, and I would be okay with some of that if it's part of the time travel conceit of you have to go back, you got to do this again. But they just kind of don't do that for a lot of stuff. It's just no, you just get to keep that sword because it would be dumb if you had to do it again, right? And you're just I guess, but that's the whole point of the whole time travel. You lose everything, so okay, but whatever, they don't care. But then there was a point where I had to swim through 20 hoops to get a bottle that I needed for this quest where I have to pick up 4 Zora eggs from this pirate's fortress. And I swam through the 20 hoops, and then the beaver that I was swimming after is hey, you have to swim through my brother's hoops too. There's 25 of those. And it's on the exact same course. I was just all right, okay. So I did that, got the bottle, did all this stuff, got all the eggs, went to the temple, and then I was just playing the temple, and I was just I hate this temple. And I had to do all this dumb shit to get to this temple. This is some special reward or something. And I was just I don't want to, I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna get 2 hours of entertainment for my 2 hours. Guaranteed. I'm gonna turn this off. And I haven't turned it on again. Because video games, they can just demand and demand and demand time and give you a bag of shit. And then you just open it and you're what are you doing, Nintendo? And it's well, we put all our good designers on the 4th temple, so I don't know. suffer through this third one though, and I was like, I already did this like 15 years ago. I don't even know why I'm playing this again. Like, what was I hoping for? So I don't know. It looks better. Like, it's got frame rate and shit now, which is crazy. You can see because there's draw distance. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I played this game when I was 13.
I think it was just better.
Yeah, it's like I'd never seen 3D before, so it was like fine. But now it's like, I don't know. Like, I was playing the Wii port of it like 2 years ago, and found I got through like the first temple or something, and then just stopped playing. And I don't know. Like, it's like a new coat of paint doesn't just make a game, rewarding. It was, and plus there's, I guess something with replaying video games, you just get this sense of like deja vu or something of just like, I've literally done this activity before. Like, I've done all of this before. So why am I doing it again? Like, it's not like there's a story that I'm like seeing from a new perspective or seeing details I missed before or something. Like, maybe if I was like speed running the game or trying to break the game or trying to like find something new in the game, but I'm just like doing what the game says. It's just like, you got to go over here and get Epona. It's like, okay, you gotta stop the alien invasion before we can let you ride away. It's like, okay, I'll do that. Like, I'm just like doing, like, the game's just giving me objectives and I'm just doing its objectives. I'm not like fucking around with it. So maybe I'm just robbing it. Like, I don't know. But if I want to beat it, if I want to see all the temples, I have to follow its breadcrumbs, right? So I don't know. It's like, are there game sharks? Can I just like toy with it? Like, I don't know what I want to do. I think I just want to do that main mask quest where you get all the masks or whatever, like or over the full 3 days to get that one ultimate mask or whatever. But I think you need all of the form masks before you can do that.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why I'd be doing that, because I did that 15 years ago. Like, I did it already. So what am I doing?
You're redoing it. You're revisiting your childhood.
The
problem is that your childhood is based so apparently directly in one of the worst eras of video game history, when they were trying to figure out how to do 3D space.
Yeah.
That's why even people, like kids with this generation stuff, they're going to be fine probably, because like the people are trying different stuff now. Like, it's not all just, do you remember one of the first games to really do 3D? Like on the SNES, there was Star Fox. You fucking flew through rings. I don't know what it is with Nintendo. Anytime there's 3D space, you have to go through rings. Like,
it's like the one. Yeah, I don't know. It's their favorite little, like, isn't that cool? And the ring went wow when you went through it. And it's like, it's kind of cool. Like, I guess I don't know. But I'm jumping through hoops, like, actually, for a story that isn't anything. It's just But I guess that's the thing. Like, I still love the apocalyptic conceit of Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, the world is gonna end, and you know how you know? Because you just were doing some other stuff and then accidentally looked up and saw the moon and were like, oh, right, that thing. Mm-hmm. That's going to kill everything. Like, it's got a good kind of just general premise, but then they kind of cheat their own premise sometimes. Like, that stupid stealth sequence in the Pirate Fortress, like, there's this one chest that's, like, guarded by a bunch of people. And I was like, okay, well, I want to get what's in there. Oh, it's 100 rupees. All right, cool. Go store that at the bank, go back in time. Oh, the chest is here again. I'm going to get my 100 rupees again. There's 5 rupees in here now. Why are they guarding it? Like, now, in this timeline, that doesn't even make sense. But I don't know. They just can't give you free, infinite rupees forever. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
For some reason. For that stuff you have to buy, which you don't. Like, they didn't even figure out the rupee economy until, like, the last game, where you're actually renting stuff and buying stuff all the time.
I agree. Like, there's a reason why you even have rupees.
And your wallet doesn't matter, because they figured out that sucked, which is true. Like, no one likes having... It's like, you can't carry this anymore. It's like, what? Fine, I'll warp back to the town, give it to the guy, go back, and then pick this up. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So, yeah, I have a new 3DS for, like, no reason right now. It's just sitting over there. Monster Hunter?
Yeah, you're right. 3DSs are fucking terrible. They're a terrible system.
Really? Yeah. Is that?
No, that's not true.
It's fucking garbage. It's a garbage console.
Okay.
I can play Game Boy games on it.
Okay, you know what? You're right.
And
it is
I
the
don't have to,
retro
like-
machine.
I don't have to try and get them to work.
No, you're totally right, because that's what I use my 3DS for, is to play old games on it, on the go. That's it.
There's
So-
some good RPGs. And that new Zelda game was pretty good.
Oh, okay. We're talking about Link Between Worlds.
No, we're
right?
talking
Yeah.
about Majora's Mask.
No.
Because that is
No,
the newest,
Look.
re-released. Yeah.
Re-releases don't count as new.
No, they
I
don't.
guess,
You're
yeah,
totally
yeah.
right.
There's like no new anything. Like back in the day, it's like, hey, Link's Awakening DX. There's like a new dungeon, but this is just like, no, it's just playable now. Like it's got graphics and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. Like I was with it through the second temple, like the Snowhead Temple, because basically the exact same thing that happened the last time I played it happened, where I was like running out of time and like racing against time to like defeat the boss and everything, and it just timed out that way where it was like, oh, white knuckle. And then Water Temple, like every goddamn time. Like I forgot. I remember I liked the music from the Great Bay Temple, and that's still true, but that doesn't make it a fun experience at all. Like you're just flipping switches and raising and lowering water levels, and that turtle's in it though, and that he was in a cool Smash Brothers map in Melee, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Video games. Ollie Ollie 2 came out. That game's great. It's really good.
Is it Ollie Ollie again?
There's like manuals in it, and you can do like level long combos. And,
Okay, so it is exactly what Tony Hawk Pro Skater did.
Yeah,
They
like, I was
added
just like,
manuals, and it's way better now.
oh, this changes everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was because as soon as they introduced that in the tutorials, I was like, the first game couldn't have had manuals because this changes everything. Like, and it's easy to do. So
Yeah.
my one beef with it, but you can fix it. I don't think they know what music goes well with their game because it's all super mellow. So
You're
it's
right,
like
actually, yeah.
like you're pulling off like these rad combos and like just flying through the air and doing all this stuff, and there's kind of this like chill groove in the background, and you're just like, dude, this music needs to celebrate the awesomeness that is happening on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play my own playlist. So like whatever you like, whatever it is you think is great, listen to that while you're playing, and you're having a million times better experience.
That is where Tony Hawk always got it right. They picked upbeat music that just fit feeling like a badass, just doing skate tricks.
Yeah, it
Like-
just the default stuff just doesn't fit. So for me, it's French electronic music. So just listening to stuff
You're
like
such a hipster piece of shit.
no, dude, it's like
I know who you mean. You literally mean Daft Punk.
no, I'm talking about Justice and Sebastian. Actually.
Oh, Justice. Okay, yeah. No,
Ed
I'm with you.
Banger stuff. Yeah, it just fits so good, and it's just like, man, I love this. Like, I love what's happening on the screen right now. I love that like the beats are like fast enough to where like I'm doing a different trick every second, so it's almost matching sometimes, and that feels cool, but it's not. It's like synesthesia, but it isn't because it's not even connected to the software. But it's great. Somehow that worked me up into this thing where I was just like, man, rad music, rad gameplay. Hotline Miami, let's do this.
Hotline Miami 2?
Hotline Miami 2.
Okay,
on
let's
the
talk
Vita.
about it. Let's do
on
it.
the Vita. I
Yeah.
fucked up. I'm playing the wrong version. That game is unplayable.
No, okay. So that
Like it's got touchscreen shit. I was like,
wait,
Oh, what?
I don't know what I did. I'm like, I just screwed up. Like I just wanted the convenience of sitting in my bed,
yeah.
hit the download button, let's go, listen to some Perturbator, and start shooting stuff. But it's got like a lock-on button and like dual analog, and like you can't get a combo. Like you can't get a flow going at all.
Okay,
with those controls.
It's not the controls. First of all, I've always hated the controls. I thought Hotline Miami 2 played like ass on anything other than PC. That's a personal thing.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
actually how this game was built, and this is my biggest gripe with it. Hotline Miami 1 felt very much like a fast-paced cocaine binge murder puzzle. That's what that was. You would just go in with a knife, a bat, whatever melee weapon. You would like throw it at this dude, punch this other guy out, take his gun, maybe shoot another guy, grab another bat or something, go bash another dude. Like it was a fast-paced, fun thing that you would figure out on the fly. They tried to make this bigger, and they did. The levels are so much bigger. There are so many more enemies. It's very methodical and gun-based now, to the point where combos just don't feel good even when you can get them, because they consist of luring a bunch of dudes with a gunshot sound, and then trying to
Into
kill all
a
5
room.
of them at the same time, because 5 dudes now will come if you are in an area. If you go into like an area with a hallway that spans maybe another 2 screens, they can shoot you across that fucking hallway and you don't even see them coming, so you're always panning to see how far, like what's going. You have to do recon missions and see where people are and then decide methodically how you're going to take out a room, whereas before it was all about just running in and going for it. They broke the game. They broke what made that game great.
I've cleared like one of the floors so far with my time with it without having to replay it, and that was kind of satisfying, but it was totally gun stuff. Like, it was what you were saying of just like, I'm going to fire my gun at this door, dudes are going to come in this door, and then I'm going to fuck them up there. Yeah. So it was just like, I had this like one murder room. Yeah. And now it was like, yeah, it wasn't quite what but I guess I was just assuming most of my problem was the Vita stuff. I didn't know it was the actual levels because it's so bad on the Vita. It's cross-buy though, so maybe the PlayStation control scheme on PS3 isn't terrible. Like maybe there's an aim button instead of pan with your finger to see.
Oh, that's really bad. Okay, that is a Vita problem for sure.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess
the problem is in that game you have to pan, otherwise you are.
Yeah, you need to see what's going on. You need that situational awareness. And I was just like, what is it? Okay, I'm just gonna press square and it'll auto aim on a guy, and then it'll just choose like the weirdest guy, like through a wall that isn't even a threat right now or something. Like just weird, like GTA 3 problems or something of just auto lock nonsense. Yeah, which I don't know. But I'm assuming you've played more of it than I've only played like 4 or 5 chapters or something.
I'm only on act, I think, 15.
Okay, that's still like 3 times as much. Like, does it get
like I guess the best way I can compare like the problems I have with this compared to the first one is there's a giant bomb quick look, and I remember this level. Like, all the levels in 1 were kind of like this. They were very much in apartment buildings or down corridors. There's a lot of walls and stuff, so you can kind of see the next room that you're about to enter and, like, figure out what you're going to do before you actually enter it.
Yeah.
In Hotline Miami 2, there's literally a part where it's just about 4, like, screens long, and it is open area, and you have to hide behind, like, what are they called now? Like those
planters, like dividers.
Not planters, not dividers, kind of like those ocean cans, like that you would, like ocean liners would have those giant like containers, ocean containers.
Oh, like shipping crates?
Like shipping containers? Shipping containers, yeah. There's shipping containers down like this yard, and there's 5 guys at the end shooting at you, and there's like melee guys in the main area too. So you have to just slowly move your way across to get a gun at the very end and then take out the 5 dudes shooting at you at the same time. So that's kind of the big difference, like just in the 2 levels, like the design philosophies, where the first one is very much you can think on your feet and see what's coming up and kind of make a decision on the fly, making the combos feel that much more satisfying. Where in this one, it is a giant open area where you are being shot at and you have to take your time to get across it. It's not very fun. But what's keeping me going through it right now, first of all, the music is still great. I'm still loving the music. If I have to give them credit for anything, they slowed down their gameplay, but they also slowed down the music to fit it a little bit more. Like, it's a little more ominous and kind of foreboding now, whereas before it was just like a crack binge, which the first game felt like. Yeah. So the music still fits perfectly fine. I'm kind of in it for the story now. I need to see what the hell is going on, because there's a lot of weird cutbacks and flash forwards and weird shit going on, so I'm kind of in. I like the voyeuristic, like, looking at somebody's life through VHS tapes thing it's going on with it right now. But mechanically, they broke what I found intriguing about the first one, and it's just nowhere comparable to me.
And it took a long time to come out too, for what like seems like kind of just a level pack or something. Like, visually, it just looks the same.
It looks the exact same.
We made more levels. I don't know. It took 2.5 years, and you're just like, like, I guess. Like, if they launched on multiple platforms day 1 this time, so that helps their case, I guess. But week 1 anyway, because I think whenever the PSN updates or something. It's a couple days later, but whatever. A bunch of places, multiple fronts. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, I have my own additional problems, so I'll see if I can transcend that on a different platform or something.
That sounds like a big problem, though, because like I was saying, you have to pan a lot, and if you have to move your hands to just use the touch feature, they don't think that through. That's the worst.
I don't even know what they expect me to, because like I'm moving with the left thumbstick.
Yeah.
And X and square are like key. Like one is kind of the execute button, and square is the lock-on button. So if I want to be using their kind of hobbled like shooting mechanics of like the lock-on thing, I need to use my right hand. But if my hand is also the awareness thing, and then R on the right side is shoot. So it's like if I want to move into a room, lock onto a guy, and shoot, it takes a lot of weird hand stuff. My hands were like falling asleep partway through playing it. Like it was just like,
and you didn't even get that far.
Resting my hands on it wrong and like pressuring on weird parts of the screen. It's just like, this is weird. This is a strange thing they have done. And then like that was right after I was just playing like this perfectly matched to its platform Ollie Ollie 2. Like it's just like this was so well thought out for this system. Like it's just like just triangles, try again, just go over and over, just jamming on these levels, these obstacle courses, getting my combos, all this stuff. And it's just like, all right, let's switch this over to action game. Oh God, this is not, what do I do? It was a bad idea. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It was discounted on PlayStation Plus. I saved $1.50.
That's where you got to get the tongue into play to, across that touch screen.
Maybe that's what they,
or maybe pull the pants down.
Chin play.
That doesn't work at all. But like, I don't know.
Take some Viagra, guys. I'm playing Hotline Miami 2 tonight.
Only play Hotline Miami 2 with Raging Boner.
Yeah.
Only way to play it.
If Hotline Miami 2 lasts for longer than 4 hours, call a physician immediately.
Has it been faring well? Like, do people like it out there?
I don't know, honestly.
I've mostly heard people complaining about the murder room thing.
Okay.
I know Total Biscuit loved it. So some people like it.
I like Total Biscuit. I can't see eye to eye with him on like anything.
Fair enough.
I can't see his opinions on almost any game. It's so fucking bad. I don't get what is even to like about Hotline Miami 2.
Story-wise, it kind of is giving me like a Don Quixote feel. Because the second half of Don Quixote is all about how there's the book about Don Quixote is out there, and now it's like more meta and stuff. So which fits with like what Miami's story was. So that's at least interesting.
Sure.
I'm still in just like the film director being all confused and stuff. I'm just getting like a weird De Palma vibe. Or
it gets way more confusing.
Okay. Good. I don't know. But
it's enough to keep me going.
Something.
So yeah, it's something. Yeah.
But hey, like the voyeuristic VHS thing you were talking about, I started watching family videos this week.
Like your personal
my
family
own
videos?
Family, like seeing myself as a baby.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's like the most surreal, like just like looking yourself in the mirror or something. It's just like, no, I know exactly how I came to be the person I am because I saw it on the screen. Like it's like, oh, that was a formative moment in my early years. Weird. Like, but trying to imagine like the faint tickles of memories of stuff of just like, oh, I actually remember that toy. I remember that toy, but I'm like 2.5. So like, do I remember it or do I remember the video of it or did I have it years after? And like, that's what, but I all I remember now is I liked it. I don't know why. It was a little battery powered plastic drill and I just thought it was cool. And it was like, yeah, cool. And I saw it on the screen. I was just like, oh, right, that thing. Great. Or like my favorite snack my grandma used to make me and whatever. Like just dumb stuff. Like just so much stuff. Did your parents take video? That's really what I'm getting at. Is like I'm looking through all this stuff. It's like my parents took like weird amounts of videos.
Yes.
Like dozens of hours of just like, hey, every Christmas, every event, every time someone visited, like just yay, camera.
It's kind of a weird revelation too, because like parents nowadays, they have they have cloud storage. I mean, they have Facebook, Twitter, they have like Instagram. They have places where you can put little clips of like stuff your kids are doing or pictures or full-fledged videos or whatever.
Yeah.
The videos for me, I have to buy a VHS adapter because they were the small like VHS tape things or whatever. So I do have a lot of them, but that adapter that we used to have broke, and I have to go to a Radio Shack to find another one, which is a problem because Radio Shack doesn't exist in Canada anymore.
So the source?
I don't think it exists at all anymore.
That's probably fair. When I look up the source, they don't have anything on it. So I actually, though I looked it up one day because I was going to do like a video project for like a parent's birthday or something. I was going to take a bunch of the video and like maybe transcribe it to like a DVD format or something.
Yeah.
And I have to buy, somebody like has one of these from a Radio Shack back like in the 90s still, and I have to buy it off them from eBay for like $60, and I'm not even sure it works, so I don't want to.
Right. But it's this weird thing where like this strange store of like family knowledge is trapped on this old format.
Yeah.
So if you want to bring it forward, my dad had the foresight to like 7 years ago to like make DVD backups of all of this stuff. So I have like a complete set. I think it was ordered the way it was on a hard drive or something, the way it was before. So I've now made it chronological. And like, yeah, I was seeing my parents like celebrating with friends of theirs at the hospital like the day I came into existence.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why does this video exist? And like, who are these people?
What's the weirdest thing you saw that you didn't remember until you saw it again?
I'm trying to, like, I don't know. There's just, like, people and stuff that I don't remember at all. But, like, the houses and toys. Maybe it's, like, toys, but, like, with, like, new stickers on them. Like, or just, like, a tag on it. And it's just like, oh, wow, okay. Like, I don't remember it being brand new. But there it is. I guess I got it for Christmas or whatever. Yeah. But honestly, like, part of it is just, like, weird psychology stuff. Like, stuff I know from psychology of just, like, child development and whatever, and now being able to see like weird little events that happen to myself, and it's just like, I don't know, like riding on a lawnmower and just thinking about like, I wonder if that would have been like pleasurable for a young kid in a way that isn't, like,
no.
I'm 2.5 years old, and this is like early formative Freudian like stimulus. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, but I don't understand your example.
Like, okay, like, I am straddling a lawnmower, riding it around.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, I get it.
Right?
So the lawnmower bad touch back in the day.
But maybe, like, but I don't know. Maybe that was fun. I don't know, because I was 2.5.
Riding lawnmowers are the shit.
Yeah.
I am taking a firm stance in saying that riding lawnmowers are the best lawnmowers you can buy.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Like, but it's like, this is myself. Like, I'm watching myself. So it's like, I can think up, like, what is going on as myself, because it's myself. Like, it's weird. It's like, all these characters are people I know. And it's, I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Bath footage shouldn't exist, probably. But, hey.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, that.
Yep. I had a straw. I was, like, blowing bubbles in the bathtub. I was like, what? Why would you do that? That's kind of gross.
That seems pretty similar to how we know you now, so.
Yeah, just sitting in the bathtub all day. But I don't know. It's just like, well, this is me developing. Like, this is formative stuff happening.
I have some weird pictures of me, too. Like,
yeah.
Just fuck. There's a picture of me, like, in a Batman, like, pajamas or whatever, like the old-style Batman, the Adam West Batman. Like, wearing goggles on my head, holding a can of corn and screaming. And I don't know what the story behind that is, but I would love to know. In fact, I could look it up and find
the can of corn part. Like, what? But it's only going to get weirder because it's going to, like, become more and more firm memories. Of just, like, right now, I'm still, like, less than 3 years old. When I'm, like, 7, I'm going to be like, yeah, I remember that. Like, I remember almost everything about this, and now I'm seeing, like, no, I was right. That was there. This was that. Like, I had this cat and whatever. And, yeah, it's the river, going down the river of family nostalgia or something, and it's just going to get weirder. It cuts off in 2007, though, but that's where
That's where you remember life.
Yeah, that's where I started recording my own stuff, so it's fine.
8 years ago. That's where I started remembering stuff.
Yep. Memory was finally... But I guess it's just weird having, like, this weird backup, like, this not in my head storage of memories of, like, stuff that's pre-memory, but, like, oh, I did meet that uncle. Weird. I didn't know that ever happened, but there he is, so...
It's weird seeing you interact with people that are dead now.
Yeah, that's been happening. I'm just like, oh, weird. I got to roll this back. Like, that's my uncle who passed away when I was like 12, but there he is, like, in his prime.
It's weird.
So, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, it's interesting, like, knowledge that I didn't have before about my own, myself.
Have you ever looked at somebody else's, like...
Only by kind of accident, because it was like, oh, there's these tapes at this garage sale that have SCTV episodes on them.
Okay, that's creepy.
No, like SCTV, the TV show.
No, not SCTV. I think where you're going with this is that you saw somebody else at a complete stranger's childhood movies.
It was like a play or something at their school. It was like after the episode, and it was just like, what? Oh, and it's just like some play they were in. And it's like, this is like the only copy of this, probably, like this video camera. And the family was just like, I don't care about this anymore, and sold it. Or like, I have some audio tapes that I got with a big, like old recorder, like reel to reel thing. Yeah. And like some of it has like family recordings on it. And it's just like, I don't know who this is. Like, this is just some like 60-year-old like BC family audio tapes, and them just like playing around with the recorder and talking about like, oh, weird, it's recording us, and like whatever on this tape. And it's just like, I don't know, like, should I like transcribe this or something? Yes. Like, should I try to preserve this?
Yes.
Yeah.
All knowledge everywhere should be preserved.
I don't know, like, it's like, this is unique media that I have like one of 5 copies of in the case of like our family videos, but also like in this case of these weird audio tapes, like the only one.
The only copy. Yeah, no, exactly. See, this is why I love the internet, because I feel everything should be everywhere for everybody. I need to see everything everybody's ever done.
There's so much stuff. And there's like, I guess there's like found footage festivals and stuff too. Like, there are film appreciators that like, oh, come screen weird found video that you find.
That's
like
cool.
Just unique stuff or whatever. So I don't know.
Where does that happen?
It's like, I hope it still happens. I think it's like Calgary Cinematheque or like...
here in the city.
In the city, yeah.
We're going to that. We're taking time off work and going to watch people's old family films.
Well, I don't know what people are going to bring to that kind of thing. Like, if it's still going on. But hopefully the plaza doesn't go out of business. But
it probably will.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Family video stuff. Like, I guess, yeah, just kind of getting whether other people did this or my family was weird is kind of...
Yeah, no, my family totally did it. Yeah.
Okay.
I just have old photos, no video. There were old videos that me and my friends made when we were kids. Yeah. We got holds of video cameras.
Yeah, I got that too.
I have like no way to watch it now though. Because I think I have some of the tapes, but not the camera.
Okay. There's a disc that has this stupid thing I did when I was like 13. This like video thing me and a friend did. And it's just like, that is at like the end of the crazy river of just like dumb shit I don't want to remember, but I'm like, I'm fully formed at this point. This is something I thought was hilarious. And I'm just going to see it and just be cringing on the couch, just like, oh no.
There was a period of time between 16 and 18 where my friends and I would just do like stupid little commercials for dumb shit, like fake shit, and just like little, like, we kind of did like a little movie thing that was 90 minutes long as well, like just little stuff like that, like film projects.
90 minutes, wow.
Film projects, and he has all those tapes, and I want them so bad because I remember one special effects scene we set up for like an hour where like one of our friends punches through another one of our friends' stomachs, like right through their shirt or whatever. There's just so much fucking fake blood, and there's it's like so disgusting. And I remember that shot turned out extraordinarily well, and how exciting that felt. And I kind of want to relive that moment again of like the first time you made something on film. That's what I feel lacks on YouTube, honestly. Like, if we want to kind of bring this around to what's out there now, like, I don't mind, like, people doing Let's Plays or game reviews or that sort of thing, but it doesn't feel like people have, like, in that stuff, except for very few people that actually put a lot of editing and, like, stuff into their videos for that stuff. Yeah. I don't feel people have the joy of making something using visual and audio cuts and films and stuff like that. They don't. I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of like the difference between like sculpting and painting for me in a way, where like doing the old video stuff, like you had to get your hands dirty, right? Like I remember we spent 3 hours making fake glass out of sugar one night, like from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m, and it was just to like break over somebody's head for a shot we wanted to do. Like that's the stuff that you need to do to get excited about this shit, not just sit in front of your computer, push a button, and play a video game. That's kind of what bums me out about YouTube.
Whereas, like, I guess the week before this Odyssey, I watched all of Mega 64 versions 1 through 3, like, with commentary.
See, that's why I love Mega 64.
Yeah. You also get tons of footage of, like, Garrett building Sean's fake foot. Yeah. And, like, doing all these weird practical effects and, like, falling asleep on the beanbags because he's been working all night on some costume or whatever. Like, they have that kind of appreciation for dumb practical stuff. And, like, and also just some of their online stuff, like, putting way too much effort into an effect that won't even matter, but I appreciate that the effort was made. Like Garrett threads this tube through his nose and throat to make this like blood effect in Game Face 2 or whatever, and you can't even tell that it looks like there's a pool of blood coming out of his face in the video because it's there for like a second and a half. Yeah, but it's just like, well, there's this behind the scenes footage, and I know he was in the bathroom for like 5 minutes reaching back there trying to pull this thing through while everyone was like, ah. And I don't know, it makes it better somehow. Like, I just appreciate it.
All that shit is just so cool. The sleepless nights, like, just to do one stupid little fucking thing that you read about on the internet. Like, the internet was kind of a still fledgling thing, but, like, I just remember getting a phone call. It's like, all right, just found out how to make fake glass. Come over. It's like, all right. And that was our night. We played Silent Hill. Like, and then while we were tending to like fake glass, that glass looked shitty. It was like yellowy and looked like it was pissed in because we used the wrong sugar and it didn't like granulate properly or something. It was a fucking mess, but it was the best. Like that's the stuff I miss. Like,
still homemade.
That's the best stuff I've ever done in my life ever. So like I miss that stuff, but I don't know. That's kind of what bums me out about YouTube and stuff, is that people think they're content creators, but they're not creating anything. They're recording a thing they are doing.
Yeah, I guess that does still happen a lot, but I guess I'm trying to, maybe there's still like small, weird film festival stuff.
There are.
So it's just like, like the $100 film festival. And it's just like you and some friends can get together and make some dumb little thing.
Dude. I can make some dumb shit with $100.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like that's maybe where I'm like trying to avert my gaze from like the internet's constantly glowing like pyre of entertainment, but it's just like I'm not getting what I want out of this, and I'm trying to like look to my own home video library and like other stuff and old family videos that have been sitting in a cupboard for years just to be like, what is there like something I can pull from and do offline, like, or just in my own, and then maybe if it's good enough, then I'll like bring something out and show it.
But that's the thing, is that I don't believe something has to be good enough to show it. Just do.
Oh yeah, just do something that you did. It is what makes it great. So yeah, yes, but so yeah, Mega 64. I watched a lot of that too. And behind the scenes and whatever. And the Wizard episode is great. And I forgot about that. You've seen the versions? Like the
Oh yeah.
Okay, just The Wizard 2 with like specifically the Scarface skit. I thought was hilarious. Like I'd forgotten how dumb that thing is, but it's them just wearing giant T-shirts that say hello to my little friend and like dancing all over the city. But it's them like enacting bad skit suggestions that people have made in like YouTube comments. So they're just like, okay, we'll just take you verbatim and do what you said. But it's some of the dumbest shit ever. Like mixed Frogger with Halo, like just nonsense. But yeah, I don't know. Those guys, they're all right. I hope to make another full-fledged thing again.
Agreed.
But it's been like 5 years. But maybe that's what they're doing.
We need to buy squibs.
Yeah. Wait, where do you buy squibs? Where do you, like, a theater shop?
Sure.
Where is there a theater shop?
Here in Calgary? Absolutely not.
I want colored light bulbs too. I bought this red one. It's like 15 watts and it's useless. I got it across the street at this Asian market.
Don't buy anything to do with electricity at an Asian market. That's a bad time waiting to happen.
Okay. It was only plugged in for like 10 seconds, and I was like, this is too dim to do anything.
And it didn't explode? You're probably fine then.
It didn't explode.
Okay, you're probably fine then.
But yeah, I want blue light specifically because it's the creepiest light. But yeah, you know?
You should get black light.
Well, I mean, glowing stuff is cool too, but...
You should also probably start smoking heroin.
Why?
I don't know.
My Twitter description does mention heroin now, but yeah.
Oh, you're right. It totally does. Why?
Someone pointed out that I think it was what they were talking about. My description doesn't seem accurate anymore.
Why?
It was
what was your description?
It was like, I'm willing to discuss stuff with you on Twitter, essentially, was the part that didn't make sense anymore because I'm never on there. So I was just like, okay, fair enough. I think I hate the internet now. I'm trying to stop, like heroin or something like that. Like, it's like an addiction I have, and I'm trying to...
If you quit the internet, you can probably spend more time on heroin. Vice versa, if you start heroin, you will quit the internet, probably.
Really? Maybe.
Yeah.
I also have Trainspotting on Laserdisc, but...
And you'll watch a lot more Quentin Tarantino as well.
I've been, like... wondering if a lot of my vocabulary got like corrupted by him and his ilk, Like,
oh, you mean Uma Thurman? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Uma Thurman. No, I just like I feel like I use 4-letter words more than I would had I not thought all the movies that had them were super cool.
Like what?
And I'm just like Pulp Fiction. What do you mean?
No, not movies. What words?
Fuck, cunt, whatever. Like those words,
I don't really use the word cunt very much. That is like...
I've heard it a couple times. It's come up.
No, this is what I'm getting at. That word for me is the atomic bomb of words.
I think it's losing its edge, though. Like
it is.
I've heard it a lot more in the last decade.
Oh, yeah, because British people say it all the time.
I blame The Departed, really. Like, that's where they just...
I blame Britain.
Okay. I guess you're right. They were
Goddamn Nigel.
Yes, and Jason Statham. That's what I'm talking about. Whatever.
Whatever. I don't know where we're
Guy
going
Ritchie.
Anymore.
All I'm going is like I don't really care about Fast 7 or whatever. Like I'm done. I'm tapping out. That's where I was going with that. Like adding him doesn't do anything for me. That's not a good get. Yeah.
Okay.
6 wasn't great. Like I don't know. I just feel like what are we getting excited about? And like Paul Walker's dead. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird to see how they cobbled that into a movie. They shouldn't have made it.
They should just do Tokyo Drift again because that movie was so good.
Sonny Chiba. Yeah, where's he at?
It's so good, and I totally forgot until someone brought it up in a chat a while ago. Like, what the hell is that kid's name? Lil Bow Wow's just like selling sneakers.
Well, I remember he had a Hulk like SUV. That was a thing.
Yeah, no, but like he sold sneakers at school. That's how he made his money. Like I don't know, it's just weird dumb shit like that in the movie.
To Japanese kids, they want that like import sneakers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that movie very well. But it's not actually good. We all know that, right? None
it's
of them.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies.
I think you're probably fine. Like really? Like
no,
you probably saved yourself time. No.
thinking about marathoning them before
You
7 comes
have
out.
to
Just so I
marathon
know.
them.
Just
Just so I
watch
know.
5 and then never watch
Five
any
sucks.
other one. No,
Five's
5 is
worst
the
one.
best one.
No, Tokyo Drift
it's-
is actually the best one.
No,
Yes, it
what are you
is.
talking about?
Because it takes dumb and corny to the level that they always should have been at.
It's some drifting in it and whatever. Like in 5,
Yeah.
they drop off a cliff in like
Dude,
the first
for
10
a
minutes.
movie called Tokyo Drift, there's not enough drifting. That is the biggest problem I have with Tokyo Drift, is that there are like 3 parts of drifting.
They drift
movie.
in that parking garage, and then they drift through that crowd of people.
And then
and
the
probably-
end. Those are the 3 parts.
Is that like the mountain?
Well, it was the 3rd Fast and the Furious movie, so they got 3 drifts in.
There you
make
go.
up for-
There is a lot more talking and conversational shit in Tokyo Drift than you would expect. There's a lot of talking in that movie.
I guess it's more extending to like just the summer slate of movies that are coming at us. Are you excited about anything?
I don't even know what's coming out because I don't keep up with that shit. Who cares?
Jurassic World, Marvel, Avengers 2.
I mean,
Basically.
my thing with summer movies is they're fun diversions while I'm watching them, and then they're over.
Yeah,
And I
you're.
can
Yeah,
think about good movies.
yeah. No, you're right. Life sucks. We need a diversion every now.
There
and then.
are good movies, though. They're just not the big summer ones.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I guess I'm not looking for an escape as often as is being sold.
Well, it's
Like,
because you're
just
on
like,
heroin. You have your.
yeah. Okay. I don't. It's just. Yeah, I have my hobbies and I enjoy them. Like
Like heroin.
heroin.
Like
I don't need conventional habits anymore.
This is
Like,
probably the worst rumor we're trying to propagate.
yeah, that's not
about
even
you.
accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Anyway,
I don't even know. Jurassic World's coming out. Safety Not Guaranteed wasn't good. Why do those things have to do with each other? I don't know. The director, nobody cares. Hey,
hey.
what next? What topic were we moving on to? Twin
Whatever.
Peaks.
That is not at all where I was moving.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. We know who did it now. We're watching season 2, but
Okay.
yeah, it's like 24 years ago. New season's coming out though, so
Yeah, you're right.
yep.
Then all your dreams can be crushed once again.
I don't know. I'm optimistic, I guess, but
No, you're not. That is not a word I would use to describe you.
I don't even care what they have to do with like the new, oh, what are they going to do with the characters and are they going to
Yeah, so you're apathetic. That is
No,
a more
it's-
appropriate word for you.
Hey, no, I'm just excited and that's like David Lynch is directing new film content.
Okay.
Like that's all I care about. It's like
Okay.
he's making 9 hours of new stuff and it's like,
No, you're
oh,
right.
awesome. He hasn't made anything in like 8 years. Like, I mean, he has. I watched all of Dumbland, all of it, and weird stuff happens. But I don't know. Like his internet stuff is, it's. I wish he had a budget and stuff, maybe or something. I don't know. Some of it's fine, but Out Yonder, Rabbits, I've yet to watch. There's a mystery disc that I have of like a bunch of his DavidLynch.com stuff. And I watched that a while ago, and it's certainly from that man's brain, but it is not like a feature film at all. Like it's not like, oh, check this out, guys. Like no, not at all. Like this is like the deepest end of the pool of appreciating any of this. So Industrial Symphony #1 though, it's actually good, but it's like a play. It's basically a stage musical that he directed in like the early '90s. Yeah, it's kind of cool though.
David Lynch sucks.
Why? What? No, it's not even true. It's
Worst.
like, no, he's really great. Like Blue Velvet. No, Mulholland Drive is one of the best movies.
Mulholland Drive is pretty good.
Yeah.
Fucking dumpster. Whatever. Anyway.
The dude back there. There's
No,
an alley near
no.
my house that is like that.
No, don't even say that. I'm never going to your house.
No, I'm saying we need to film like Sugar Glass crazy video
Dude,
in
you're
that
right.
alley.
We should make Sugar Glass.
Okay.
That sounds like a weird like drug name, and it's totally not. Gotta make that
We
Sugar
could make
Glass.
Sugar Glass. I don't know. I've been looking into like weird craft hobbies. Hobbits.
it's
What
not
was
hard.
I saying? Yeah.
Do you have
Dude,
sugar?
I got so much felt. Check this out.
I was
We
expecting
can make
him
so many puppets.
to grab a bottle of sugar that he just had ready.
No.
I used to make myself some mad fucking puppets, yo. I used to take, like, those milk jugs and then cut them so that when you put your hand in them, they would be a mouth, and then you put, like, eyes on it, and they'd have a pointy head, and you put a little tuft there for hair. I made some mad fucking puppets.
Dude, we might need your puppet expertise around here. I don't know. I'm going to get, like, one of those light boxes. What?
Yo, do you have a glue gun?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have pipe cleaners?
No, actually.
What the fuck?
I know. I gotta go back to the craft store. I have glue. It's right here.
We should probably just quit our jobs and start making puppets. Dude, you don't even know. I know how to make this puppet from, like, a bleach thing and a broomstick. It'll be great. I'll show you everything.
Okay. I don't.
You don't even know where to go.
That's basically what Jim Henson and Frank Oz did, but that was like 50 years ago. So I don't know if you could just do it again and be like, no, dude, puppets. Puppets are hot right now.
You totally could.
Okay. All right, puppets. Jim Henson, Dark Crystal.
That's what we should do for, like, YouTube stuff. We should make puppets and just do little skits.
Like Potter Puppet Pals by Lemon Demon.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
I
don't know what you're talking about.
Lemon Demon did a series with puppets that Harry Potter got millions of views. Like, that dude's set forever.
I'm going to start thinking up some puppets. There was a time in my life where I could look at an item and think of a puppet for it. I watched a lot of YTV growing up. For anybody who's not Canadian, it's like our youth channel or whatever. There was so much puppet making bullshit on that channel back in the day.
But you took it to heart. You started seeing the world their way and making puppets. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's a craft.
It is a craft, yeah.
I don't even want to show, like, finger puppets now. They're so bad.
No, you have to show me your finger puppets. Oh my god.
No, they're just bad little tube men. They're just little tube men.
That's what a finger puppet is.
I know, but all right.
Just had a conversation. You have to show everything.
All right. I'll just glove up with all 5 of them, and we'll just see. They probably won't even show.
Check this out. I got this garbage here. It's a poutine box.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it? Rah. You can turn anything into a puppet. I'm not kidding you.
A poutine box and a puppet.
See, this is a problem with just, like, saying random shit sometimes on the internet. Is people don't know when you're being, like, disingenuous or not. I can make me some fucking puppets. That's all I'm saying. And I'm also trying to vamp and fill dead air while Nathan tries to find his finger puppets, which will be great audio-only podcast material, by the way.
It's the best.
They're all right here. I made 5. This one has a creepy red eyes, which was the thing I was trying to do. Also, line art nose. I was kind of happy about that.
Sure.
This guy's a little crown. I was trying to make a little, like, hair piece for this guy with, like, thread.
Yeah, no, they have personality.
Okay. This blue guy, I was trying to just use different colors, but he's kind of a computer robot man. And this was the first one I made. I tried to make his eyes more interesting later. Oh, no, this guy. This guy here was the first one I made. Anyway, there they are.
You know what you should start looking into anytime you go out? Those rubber, like, finger things for papers, and also thimbles to make rounded heads.
Oh, thimbles. Okay, for, like, the top, so it's not just
basically, if you want to just, like, make puppets, anytime you go out anywhere, just find little things and just, like, store them in little containers. Just everything you can find. Yeah,
we were kind of, like, there were some little beads and things that we were trying to do to make the eyes more animated on one of them. But anyway, yeah. Also, I don't think hot glue sticks to felt in a weird way, so I'm going to try to just use Elmer's next time.
It's kind of weird what happens. Basically, what the hot glue does is, since there's so many little fibers sticking off felt, it connects to those and bunches up, which in turn can lead it to fall off really well unless you, like, Elmer's is a good choice. Any glue that you can spread thin into, like, a film is usually a good choice, but it globs too much on felt and then it can rip off easily. That's the problem I find with it.
And, like, it was starting to kind of solidify while I was fine-tuning some stuff, and I was finding that kind of frustrating.
It could also melt through the felt and burn you.
It didn't do that in any of these, but
good.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. There you go. That was a couple weeks ago. But
I'm trying to find other puppet materials. I don't have very many on my desk because there's nothing but cigarettes.
I'm not a big fan of googly eyes. I was trying to not have
Googly
to use
eyes
them.
are hilarious when used on pictures that already exist, or like if you put them on your TV to like take a silly picture. It's like, oh, Jennifer Aniston's so silly now or something. But
Googly eyes.
But if you're making something, you should try to make the eyes fit the rest of the tone of the face for a personality sort of thing. They're just a silly personality with googly eyes, and they're never like if you want a serious character and you use googly eyes, you fucked up. You're a bad puppet maker.
Yeah,
that's puppet making 101.
I didn't even buy any, but yeah.
I
also, is there places other than Michael's to go for stuff like this, or are they just the craft?
Yeah, thrift shops.
Oh, for just weird stuff?
Just random bullshit.
Okay.
If you want to get really adventurous, go to like not the dumps, but like not like necessarily the dump, but there's like weird electronic places you can get like copper wire and just weird like pieces of computer and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Hardware stores are great for a lot of weird shit, like little baubles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
In that regard, Walmart has a bunch of useless shit in it you can buy.
Department stores. Maybe in Target's death throes, you could get some discount stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because,
Hank wouldn't know about that being American and all.
Oh, yeah. Our Target branch up here is dead. The one, like, few blocks from here closes in, like, 6 days. So I kind of want to go see what there is to see. But
there's nothing. That's the problem. The reason they're dead is because even when they were just starting up, there was fucking nothing to buy there. Ever.
I mean, I bought video games there, Amiibos and stuff.
No, you didn't. That's a lie.
I did. No, I bought. Let's see. I bought Samus there, and Zelda, and I think that was it. Yeah, Amiibo wise, that Captain Toad though, I got that from them.
Spart is talking some mad bullshit and is on the verge of getting banned for saying you shouldn't be making a serious character as a fucking puppet. You know nothing about puppets, sir. Fuck you.
I'm trying to think of I mean that's Jim Henson's kind of thing with Dark Crystal and stuff, right? He was trying to like push the boundaries. I have yet to watch that. That's another 80s nostalgia piece.
I can't believe he made David Bowie.
Yeah, well, that's Labyrinth.
Same thing.
Yeah. Inventive creation. Well, he did the weird hands behind him to make him juggle and do that thing with the sphere. That was not David Bowie because you can't do that. That's like
David Bowie can't do a lot of things
with his hands. What do you mean?
At all?
Like post 80s, yeah, drugs, heroin, maybe.
Probably
Just
heroin. Hank, what the fuck have you been doing?
Also playing Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes. It's a beautiful game.
It plays really good.
That's
good.
That's what I mean by it being a beautiful game. It actually controls nicely. So Nathan looks puzzled again. Ori and the Blind Forest is a Metroidvania type game with... It feels... I always liken it... You know how tight Super Meat Boy feels? I think it feels very much like that. It feels... Every time you like put in a command or something like with your buttons, it just works. Like everything about it feels very fluid. The animation is very nice to complement how smoothly it plays. There's a bunch of mechanics stuff that you gradually get over time, so it feels like you're constantly upgrading your character, and the environment is really nicely rendered for one thing, but the music fits it perfectly as well, so it kind of feels like you're exploring this weird magical forest that you're in that's kind of fucked up a little bit, but you're saving it or whatever the hell is going on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on story-wise because I kind of don't give a fuck about the story at all.
Yeah, that's... The story, it feels like... The thing with indie games is... Like, to be a critically acclaimed indie game, it has to be like a dark, scary world, and you're a small thing in, like, the view of this giant thing. Like, that's typically what's gotten big acclaim. And it feels like they're going that way with the way the opening starts, and with
that opening's bad.
It's too long. You get to play kind of, but it's not actually letting you play with the mechanics. You just have like a shittier jump, and you just have to walk in one direction while it's like giving you a story. But the game itself is all about like empowering you and like building you up with new abilities over and over again. It's like it's not that kind of game. So there's a disconnect there. And it's just the opening takes way too long too. It just takes a long time.
It made me almost just stop playing it. It was bad.
There's also a weird thing with that game. So the only reason this game exists is because Microsoft published it. Like they put money behind it because the people who made it were crazy. And they were artists who decided every background element needed to be unique. So like every bush in the background is unique, which is fucking nuts. That's a waste of your resources. Like the only reason this game is as polished as it is because Microsoft stepped in, gave them enough money to like do it right. So there's some stuff about their aesthetics that I'm not into, but it plays so fucking good. I don't care. Like,
it's a platformer or what is?
Yeah,
it is
so
literally Metroidvania style gameplay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it has a map, but it's focused on platforming specifically and not combat.
It honestly feels more like Metroid than Vania, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so your main attack is you have this little orb of light that follows you around, and you just mash on the X button on an Xbox controller, and like lightning, like little flame things just come out randomly, and if you're near enough to an enemy, it'll be attacked. So the idea is your main focus is on the tight platforming controls and just being around things in the space. So you're not like lining up shots or anything. It's not focused on combat. It's enemies are incidental to what you have to do, which is platforming, basically.
How long is the long intro? Like an hour? Like
no, it's not. I mean, it just feels like it takes like, forever.
It's actually probably about between 5 and 10 minutes. But in that 5 and 10 minutes, it's a bunch of dumb bullshit that's trying to pull at your heartstrings, even though you don't care because you don't know who any of these characters are.
Just like, like we haven't established anything yet, but we're already going for buttons.
Like,
that's weird.
In the first 5 minutes,
people who thought Bambi's mom dying is the pinnacle of storytelling.
But see, the difference is...
That's like 40 minutes into the movie, though, or something, right? Like, it's not right out of the gate, is it?
Well, the thing is, like, right out of the gate, what happens is... you see Ori basically, like, get floated away from whatever tree it was living on or born on. It meets up with this thing, it raises it, that thing dies, sad moment. It's like, no, I don't care what that thing is. I barely know what this fucking glowy thing is other than I'm probably going to be playing as it for the next 8 hours. You are not allowed to try to do this. This is like an end sequence sort of thing. Like, it's completely bullshit and arbitrary. They're just trying to put it in there to get those brownie points of it has the feels when there's nothing to feel because you don't give a fuck about anything that's going on with it.
Yeah. But as a video game, it's really good.
Which is more important because fuck story elements. Mechanically, something to be a good video game has to feel good.
And it does a good job of doling out new mechanics to you over time.
Yeah.
Like early on, you can like jump, like Meat Boy style, jump on a wall and then jump up that wall to get higher.
Yeah.
Eventually you get a double jump, which is great. You get the best ability in my mind is it's called like the bash, where if you're near an enemy and you hold, or most projectiles, and you hold Y, an arrow will come up, and it will, once you let go, it'll shoot you off in the direction of the arrow, and it'll shoot the enemy or projectile off in the other direction. So it's a really fast way to move around when you're later in the games, when you're like just trying to get across the map to get some collectible on the map. But also it aids in some of the locked off stuff, so where you have to shoot a particular kind of enemy at a wall to break it to get in to get the collectible.
Yeah.
Like, it's really well thought out. There's like a good amount of stuff on the map without it feeling like too long. Like, it seems really well paced. I'm almost done with it, but I haven't finished it yet. The sequence at the end of like the first sort of the 3 like dungeon type parts is fucking great, where there's like water rising and you're just jumping up to try and get away from it. And I really like that once the water reaches you, it doesn't immediately kill you because it's just water. It just hurts you, and you can't really see, but you can sort of jump your way through it a bit. And it's just like a real rush. Like I played that part and I was like, wow, that was great. That's a great platforming sequence.
That's really the first sequence actually in that whole game that was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do and I'm in.
Yeah.
The water looks great too. Like it really
like the
looks
game
nice.
I think the game started because there were a bunch of artists talking on some forum somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it like came to be.
Yeah, Moon Studios
I think,
is a bunch of people all around the world. They're not a company located in one spot.
Yeah.
So,
Like they had never met each other till like some E3 or something, I think last year, from what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's cool. It's a really nice game, and it kind of feels that niche that, like, for Metroidvania games that I don't think a game has done appropriately since Dust and Elysian Tale, but, like, without the furry thing going on. The cartoony furries. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that it's focused on platforming. Like, it's fun to get around, because a big part of the game is finding little collectibles in little secret areas. So that it's fun to get around the level is fucking key.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I enjoy it.
Yep. Those were the only 2 games I really played this week that were worth talking about.
City still took it for time played, though.
Oh, by far.
Just waste so much time building a city. Who would have thought building a city would be a time-consuming endeavor? Not me.
Turns out traffic patterns are hard.
I've seen how our city operates, and I'm just like, some motherfucker just threw this together, so whatever. But nope. All new appreciation for transit lines specifically. That shit is a bitch to get right.
To anticipate need and whatever.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you start building your city with these tiny roads, and then later on you're like, oh no! I've built all this industrial shit right here. No one can get in. I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Everything is ruined. I have to redo everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to just redo everything. I have to fix it. It needs to be fixed. It's broken.
Everything's broken. Video games.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about movies, because you saw 3 this week, and I don't know anything about any of them.
Technically, I saw 4 movies, only 3 in theaters, and I saw one older movie, too.
Well, I know about the older movies, so we can talk about
fair
that,
enough.
But
So the first movie I saw is 71, which is based on a true story of takes place in 1971, of a British soldier in Belfast during the Irish Revolution who gets separated from his squad, basically. So he's sort of trapped there in night, and the IRA is looking for him, and he's trying to figure a way out. So the problem with this movie is the main character is fucking nothing. He's like a MacGuffin to show off things that the director found interesting about the IRA conflict. Except Forrest Gump has way more personality than this guy does.
that's okay.
Hey, come on.
Well, mental retardation doesn't equal personality.
It kind of does in that movie. Look, he jumps off a boat.
That's so cheap. That's so cheap, though. Like, really? Somebody's... Oh, whatever. I mean, you're right.
I'm trying to think of a movie that just uses a character to an end and isn't actually invest anything in that person being a personality. Like, it sounds like they're just an underdeveloped, like, avatar for the audience to see stuff. Is that what you're kind of saying, or?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
It's not even for the audience. It's, like, for the plot.
Okay.
Like, you're not... Your emotional investment is sort of more with these side characters who have things going on, but he has nothing invested in any of this. He just happens to be there.
Oh, God. So, like, Fury, the main guy in Fury, Logan Lerman's character, where it's just like, hey, I don't know, that guy. He'll roll with this super seasoned tank veterans because, I don't know, we need a young person. Yeah, that's how I felt about him. But,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Except this is, like, to make this movie, it sort of seems trapped because it's based on a true story. It's actually about some guy. The guy doesn't turn out to be interesting.
Okay. So this is a real guy. It's not even like a composite character. Okay.
No.
Apologies to that guy, I guess.
No, fuck that guy.
What does he see? Does he see cool stuff? Like, is the stuff we're seeing?
I mean, the reason I wanted to see it is because it seems like a pertinent movie to come out now with the weird Ferguson stuff. Like, just the parallels you could draw there would be interesting. Doesn't like so. There's like a scene with the military. They're forming a wall while the Irish cops are going in and arresting people, and there's like a mob forming in front of them. They start throwing rocks, and shit goes nuts. So that's kind of cool. But once it gets sort of away from that scene, it becomes like it does the thing a couple times of having introduced of like the innocent killed in the wake of war. It's like the cheapest tug at your isn't war horrible thing where it kills this like smart talking little kid who drinks. It's like a great character, but then like this bar blows up and the kid dies.
Good.
And then the movie pulls it again with this other kid and literally kills him kind of twice. Or you think he's dead, and then he gets up, saves the guy, and then gets killed again for reals this time.
No, I swear I'm all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So some kind of
turn out.
cheap emotional buttons
Yes.
they go for.
Yeah. They go for the cheap emotional buttons. So it was a bummer.
How many
Like,
dogs
okay.
die?
No dogs die.
Okay, so they don't go the full gambit of cheap emotional buttons. At least there's that.
It's just kids.
They didn't
but-
pull
right.
Peter Mullen
All right.
you it up.
Speaking of John Wick, my next movie
Yeah.
sort of has a similar plot
Yeah.
setup which is Run All Night, which is the new Liam Neeson movie.
Oh, with
Ed Harris
that guy.
as the bad guy.
That guy.
And also,
Joel Kinnaman.
yes,
the-
Joel Kinnaman is
The
his son.
Killing and RoboCop and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way this movie is similar to John Wick is that the plot gets set off by the criminal gangster, who's Ed Harris. His son does something stupid, and so it sets off everything. Where Liam Neeson ends up having to kill the kid to save his son.
Does he have a particular set of skills?
Yes, he was like a hitman for Ed Harris back in the day, but now he's like a horrible drunk. Like, the thing about this movie is they don't try at all to make Liam Neeson a good person. Like, he's a piece of shit. He just happens to be trying to save his son. Like, his only
Okay.
friend in the world is Ed Harris. Really. Like,
You
his
know,
son
you know
hates
you're in
him,
bad
too.
company when Ed Harris is your only friend in the world. You've done some shit in your life.
Yeah.
I get Harris.
But the thing with this movie is
Joey.
the movie is mostly like basically a drama that happens to have really good action in it. Like, it's a lot
Okay.
of slow and like talking parts.
If I recall, it's the same director as Unknown, which is one of the like weirdest, worst movies I've seen, but it has like a plot thread in it that's actually well done. But I don't know if it is. Like, it might be
I
wrong.
think it was the director of Nonstop. It's the director of Nonstop, which was last year's Liam Neeson movie.
It's a
I
same
think
that
it's the
same
same
guy,
guy.
too? Okay.
Okay.
Unknown was on there too.
They've collaborated a couple times for some reason, but
Nonstop was really good. I really liked Nonstop.
okay. But
That
I
was
didn't.
tight. That was a tight thriller.
And
because-
this is more of a drama that incidentally has is the drama good? Does it have
The
weight?
drama's pretty good. There are a bunch of scenes where Liam Neeson and Ed Harris get to interact, and those scenes are all really good. Like, they're really well done. I also appreciate that they never try to make Joel Kinnaman an action star in this movie. Like, he never does any action stuff. He never saves Liam Neeson, which is always the trick they pull with the action star's kid. It's like a major character in one of those kind of movies.
Like
They
Jake
don't-
Courtney and Die Hard 5 or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garbage movie.
There's a good
Yeah.
explosion in it though. Stand by it. It was pretty cool. All that fire.
You know what else had a good explosion?
the
Kingdom of the
trailer
Crystal Skull.
Yeah, okay.
Explosion was fun.
Yeah,
That movie's okay.
refrigerator thing was a-okay.
Yeah,
That
hilarious.
refrigerator thing was great.
Yes, it
People who
was.
complain about that are full of shit.
They are full of shit. There is a lot to complain about in that movie. That is not one of them.
Look, there's a previous Indiana Jones movie where they jump out of a plane in a fucking
dinghy.
raft.
And then go
And
off
they're
a cliff.
fine. Like, come on.
That was also like everybody's next least favorite one, but whatever.
Whatever.
Temple
That's
of
just
Doom
'cause
is fine too.
that movie hates women because it was about
Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, I think Spielberg and George Lucas had just had really bad divorces before they made that, so they were really pissed at women, so they made an awful female character.
And
That is
then
what happened.
Spielberg married her. Like, so, I don't know. Whatever. This narrative we've made. But, okay. No. What is it even called? You said nonstop, and there's like Run All Night.
Yeah.
Run All Night is
Taken 7, Run All Night, Nonstop 2.
Yeah, I didn't even see Taken 3. That was like a real thing that happened.
I didn't even see Taken 2.
I did see Taken 2, and that's kind of why I didn't see Taken 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I can stop at Taken, because I enjoyed the time I watched that movie once. That was good.
Yeah.
I need to watch Walk Along the Tombstones, which I've heard is good. And Nonstop was really good. And I loved The Gray, as far as...
I did like The
The
Gray.
Gray's so good.
It's really good.
It's just a classy movie.
Kinda. Like, just men
It is.
surviving.
No,
It's kinda like The Edge.
I wasn't being an asshole. It is a classy film. I really like how they do stuff in that.
That movie was way better than the trailers made it look like it was going to be a movie entirely about Liam Neeson punching wolves.
That's what I thought too.
With glass tied to him, like taped to his
That
hand.
was going to be the whole movie. But nope.
But no,
It
that
was
was
about
like
death.
Yeah.
coming to terms with it. Yeah, like right after the crash, he like talks that guy through his death, and it's weird. And you're just like,
That's a
oh,
good
this
movie.
is like serious. Like a writer wrote this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe that movie. A writer wrote this.
I sat down not expecting any intelligence to be on the screen.
That's fair, because it's a movie, and there's very rarely any intelligence in a movie.
I guess, yeah, but I don't know. I was impressed with it.
Yeah.
But that was years ago. I only watched it one time. But
Me too. And it was a great time. I don't want to sully it by maybe misremembering and watching again, realizing, oh, there's a lot of garbage, but I don't think I am.
It's
yeah,
pretty
rewatching,
good.
replaying, all that stuff. It's a dangerous game.
Replaying is the more dangerous game, especially when you play stuff from the N64 era. Like, let's just be real. That was a bad era. It just was.
Even the biggest, like, best made stuff from that time is just kind of clunky.
Except Last Corpse. Oh, so good.
I don't know. Last time I tried to play it, that was when
That
I found
truck
out
moves
my
too
N64
slow, though.
was broken.
Anyway. Yeah.
Star Fox 64 holds up okay.
I bet it doesn't.
There's a lot of
holds up
writing
okay.
and, like, the branching plot.
The parts of it are
lines.
bad, and the parts that were always bad. The Landmaster.
Yeah.
Or the submarine stuff.
The submarine, that's one level that was on
Yeah.
a path that it's like
I
the
didn't
hardest.
mind the
annoying
train
path.
Landmaster level, I think. I don't
That
know.
level's okay. It's really the one where you don't have Slippy and you can't see the boss's health because of it. That you only go to because you fucked up. You only get there because you let Slippy die in that one previous level, and you get there.
Okay. And then I guess you're just in the R-Wing in it, but there's that one where you're, like, chasing boats, essentially. Isn't that what's happening? Like, there's, like, a bunch of pirates or something on a ship.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
that
there's,
level
like,
with Cat.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting called out. I disagree with you, Paul. That arrow was goddamn adorable. Adorable, sure, maybe. Like, there was some charming stuff they tried to do. Go back and replay any of those. Just do it. They're terrible. They are badly made pieces of junk.
What? Arrow?
Era.
Oh, that era.
It was
game.
interesting seeing people
N64.
trying to figure out 3D. Like, it was at the time.
No, it's, like, historically significant. It's just, it's a drag to actually try to get anything more out of it.
That's kind of what I
like,
mean. Like, that
I
era
can
was
complete
important.
this software, but it's not enjoyable.
Like, that era was arguably maybe one of the most important for video games, but it is so full of garbage. It is so full of fucking garbage.
I'm trying to, like, even liken it to other media of just, like, silent films were fine, but then we figured out...
Films
like,
in general are kind of garbage.
Well, for, like, narrative purposes, like, you can tell stories with them, like, pretty effectively.
You can also tell stories with words in books that were around way before that.
Yeah, but you can
books
do
are kind of
poorly
garbage
or
too,
well.
Books are kind of garbage too. They go in the barrel. I mean, in Hitler's regime, they were big piles. They weren't even barrels.
Yeah, but some of them are good.
I kind of like GameCube more than N64. That's because they started figuring out what they were doing, and people didn't care because they didn't like the GameCube very much, apparently. Or just weren't excited about it, at least.
What a weird time that was, but yeah.
It was.
Well, I can watch DVDs on this thing, so I'll get that instead. And it's like, okay.
Dude, my first DVD ever. Actually, the first DVD I ever owned was Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The first DVD I ever watched was LA Confidential, and I'm never looking back.
That was a good movie. Okay. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he's in that. He is back.
I only watched like 2 of those, and I don't think I'm in the mood for it right now. Like my appetite is gone for like cynical political stuff. I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of cynical political stuff in like media, like well done. That's just real life stuff.
I guess I don't know. It's just it's just I'll have that later or something. Like I'm not ready for that course yet. Or something.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When it came out, it wasn't what I was looking for.
Speaking of trashy films, what's the Salvation all about?
It's a Western.
Okay.
Starring Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh.
Who was the villain in Casino Royale.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Hannibal.
Yeah.
So he's him and his brother, they're like Danish immigrants who came to the West to make a new life. And it starts out with Mads Mikkelsen's wife and kid finally showing up. He hasn't seen them in a long time. They get on a stagecoach to go to his place. There are like these two outlaw or two drinking guys get on and they start like molesting his wife. He starts to he gets thrown out of the carriage and eventually he's like running after it, finds his dead son on the road. Then he catches up with the carriage and then murders the fuck out of those 2 guys. His wife is dead. So his life is he's real pissed off. But one of the guys he murdered is the brother of the criminal outlaw guy, of the guy who like basically is terrorizing the nearby town.
Okay.
Who's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. And
the guy from Watchmen.
Yeah.
Comedian. Okay.
Yes. So he plays a really good villain who's like just gone crazy. It's sort of implied that he used to be a good man, but he killed too many Indians and he's just gone kind of crazy. So they start like terrorizing the town to find the people who murdered his brother.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes the town give up 2 other people for him to murder if they can't find him. And they they get this old woman to agree to be murdered, and they bring out this guy who has like 1 leg to be shot by him. And after he kills them, he just shoots some random guy because he's like, that an old woman and a half guy, that wasn't adding up.
Mm-hmm.
But then he doesn't like satisfy his bloodlust, so he like starts charging them double protection rate, and says they still need to find whoever shot them. So, and then it turns out like he's actually working for like the banking railroad company and trying to chase everyone out of town so that they can, because the town is like built on oil.
Oh, okay.
There's oil there, and
is this Chinatown set in the West?
I mean, it's more like classic Western stuff, but done with a modern sensibilities. So it's got all that violence and blood and stuff.
Okay.
Man,
Ava Green is it, but she's a mute character. Her tongue was cut out at some point. That seemed like a weird choice.
Okay.
It was really good. I don't know. It was a fun movie. Also, what's his name? Jonathan Pryce is in it, and he sort of feels like he's like the mayor / Undertaker.
Okay.
And the way he's playing his character feels sort of like he's channeling the spirit of Walter Brennan. That old time town, like the town silly old man.
Okay.
But just also terrible.
He was great in Tomorrow Never Dies.
He was actually a fun Bond villain.
Yeah, he was. That movie doesn't get enough respect.
I mean, it was better than both of the subsequent Pierce Brosnan movies by far. So
well, that's not a comparison.
I know. Like, I mean, I guess. Do you prefer it to Goldeneye? Like they're both pretty good for dumb entertainment that James Bond is for.
I prefer I prefer kind of the dumb stuff.
I prefer the 006 versus him thing in GoldenEye, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Agent versus agent shit.
I kind of like the whole just like media thing from
it
Tomorrow
is.
Never Dies. So like it's a more unique conceit for the Bond films in general. There isn't like there is a bad guy, but he's not the same type of like evil bad guy that the Bond villains usually are, if that makes any sense. He's just kind of a crazy asshole in a way. Like,
but did that movie have a villain who had a bullet in his brain that made him stronger?
Oh my fucking god.
Submarines. And I don't.
Denise Richards
as Christmas Jones.
Yes,
it's so bad.
There was an era there where I was obsessed with Denise Richards, and I don't. Well, I know why. It was because she had big tits.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
Like there's better movies for that.
Oh no! Like I owned Wild Things, and that movie's not that good, but I watched it probably like 5 times.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That has to be the last thing Neve Campbell ever did, right?
She was in a Mad Men episode. She was just on an airplane, and Donald Draper turns over and is like, "Hey," and has a conversation with her. But yeah, no, she hasn't really done anything recently. Well, I mean, Scream 4, but yeah, Scream 4 is okay. Scream 4 is okay. It's okay. It's nothing great, but it's
better.
okay.
It's better than 3.
Yeah,
I will give it that. And maybe better than 2, but 2 has some crazy fun stuff going on in it.
Sequel jokes.
That's kind of it.
Yeah. I've heard 22 Jump Street has millions of sequel jokes, and I don't know. I don't think that makes me want to see it. That's not I don't know. It's like we knew we were uncreative when we made it, so we called ourselves out. Haha. Jokes.
Nope, that's not how jokes work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, I saw Chappie.
Okay.
How was that?
Neill
Short Circuit
Blomkamp
2?
movie.
RoboCop?
I have Short Circuit 2. I haven't watched it yet, but I was thinking, like, isn't this Short Circuit? Like, this just sounds like Short Circuit when I'm like
I've heard
seeing
it
the
has
trailers and stuff.
literal plot points from Short Circuit 2 and RoboCop in it. Shots that are sort of taken out of both of those movies too.
It was giving me a vibe of in exactly that kind of way of like, what if we combined Paul Verhoeven type gore with like a kids movie mentality? So it's a really weird blend of just like really kind of patronizing, like, oh, we're going to teach the robot about death and like whatever, like kind of little sad moments and whatever. But then it's like, and then Hugh Jackman's going to rip this guy in half with a mech and like blood everywhere. And that's just
but that's kind of what Short Circuit 2 already is. That's the thing about Short Circuit 2.
Is Short Circuit 2 violent?
Yeah. Like, there's a scene where if there's a part in the movie where Chappie basically gets ripped apart, that's the part that's taken out of Short Circuit 2. That happens.
Oh, okay. Because, Chappie gets his arm cut off and the kind of this stuff, happens. Yeah, okay.
It's brutal in Short Circuit 2 as a kid's movie. It's one of those things that's super memorable when you see it as a kid. Because he literally goes, like, he can't talk afterwards, and he literally writes on chalk on a wall, dying. Like, it's fucking brutal.
Wow. I should watch Short Circuit 2.
It's terrible, but
okay.
because it's all about the white guy playing an Indian character from the first movie. Like, he's the only main character besides Short Circuit who's back.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I know Burr's not in it, but I don't know. It was a weird movie because it's just like some of the ideas it has about just like, I don't know, sentience and whatever are kind of novel. Like, there's some kind of neat developments that happen with Chappie, but there's also like just this stuff that doesn't, I don't know why it's okay. 2 of the main characters in the movie are like South African rap stars that I don't know anything about, but they're just like, oh yeah, Ninja and Von Lisa or whatever. And there's these 2 like weird, wacky punk people that are like raising Chappie and in the movie a bunch and have tons of screen time and tons of dialogue and all this stuff. And it's just like, this is such a catered to South Africa thing. Like, what am I supposed to make of this? Like, it's not funny. It's not, I don't know. Like, I was not getting much out of all those sequences, and the effects are still good and all this stuff. I guess I generally felt this movie added up to a little bit more than Elysium did, but I was kind of bummed out by Elysium. Like, I just didn't care about Matt Damon. So making it a robot, your kind of main character, was kind of a avenue to just, I kind of care what's going on. This is kind of okay. Like, Dev Patel's okay.
I was going to say, how is the Slumdog Millionaire?
He's fine. Like,
okay.
I guess I buy him.
Is he answering questions based on his experiences in life?
No. He's giving his robot like one of those weird rubber chickens that you squeeze and they make a weird sound.
Oh, because he heard that sound when he got beaten and tortured to death in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's implied, though. They don't spell it like they did in Slumdog. But,
right. Slumdog is clearly the inferior film.
Yeah, it's a little more subtle and nuanced. There's nothing subtle or really going on here at all. It's just, like, really clearly spelled out everything. They also just kind of write themselves this weird backdoor, like, for, like, anything mattering of just, like... Yeah, we kind of just negated anything impactful happening.
Yeah, but nothing in life really matters if you think about it.
No. Okay, well, but they don't let despair like that happen. They write themselves out.
What like, despair? We're just all going to be in the ground one day. Nothing really matters.
Okay, but...
Anyone can see.
Nothing really matters to me.
But they undo that. They make it so you can live forever.
Oh, okay. You're right, actually. That really makes it that nothing matters.
Yeah, nothing matters at the end of this movie. Like, nothing happened, really. That's that important. It's just, like, to the characters, even. Like, it's just... And it kind of has some lazy exposition stuff with all this news footage up front and, like, a fake documentary style, kind of like he did with District 9. Mm-hmm. But then they just don't return to it. Like, it's like Great. 18 months earlier, and then, like, whatever, and they have these talking heads talking.
It's exactly crazy. Like District 9 that way.
Yeah, and then it just goes back, and then do they not return to, like, looking ahead, like, oh, this is so crazy, like, after that thing happened, the ship left? I watched it once, like, 6 years ago. I don't
It's like I think they might have a news thing at the very, very end.
He was holding like a flower as a cockroach man.
Yes, they did that too. That's how it ends. That was like the last shot.
I thought that movie was so stupid too, with like the DNA changing thing where he literally turns into an alien for him to see how racist he was. Like I was like,
but it's their fuel source. It wasn't like I don't get how it changed him. It's like their fuel source changed him.
Yeah,
like I spilled oil on me. Oh no, I became an oil monster.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm still baffled how Neill Blomkamp came to be like a major director, because that whole, like, especially knowing like the whole Halo movie plans in like 2005 and watching like short films of his on GameSpot because he was going to be the Halo guy. Yeah. And then when I saw the first District 9 trailer being like, oh, is this the Halo movie? It's like, no, it's not. Just Peter Jackson and him got on. So.
Yeah, I think it's Peter Jackson's fault.
It's one like plot point away from being the Halo movie. So
yes, I mean he's still really good at like using CG and action sequences and all this kind of stuff. It's just the mentality. Like I guess it's just the level of intelligence of the story is like kid movie level. But then the visuals and like the dialogue and what's happening is like an R-rated film. Okay. So it's like it's like an R-rated movie that's like talking down to you or something.
Like Fritz the Cat.
Is that patronizing? It's nothing like Fritz the Cat. What?
Is that patronizing?
Like I've seen Fritz the Cat. No, it's nothing like that at all. I guess it might be exactly like Short Circuit 2. I'll have to check it out.
Okay.
It is like a really weird blending of like E.T. and like RoboCop. Like I guess Short Circuit was kind of like E.T., but whatever, it's a robot. But I mean, it's like
Short Circuit was also a military robot that learns how to feel.
Yeah, it's a lot like.
Quick question from the chat: Nathan, does Chappie have sex with a human? Go.
No,
damn it.
There's nothing like that at all. And there's stuff where they just don't get into. Okay,
I love how you're just like, no.
No, there isn't. There should have been. No, it's like if a human. if a human became a robot, what would they do sexually? They can't. So like, there's like, what would they do at all? Like, they're now not a human anymore. So like, I don't like
fuck a car.
Question the new RoboCop movie should have answered.
Yeah, like, well, they sort of have him like be really upset that like I'm not a person anymore, but they don't really go much further of just like, yeah, he is a weird monster man. Like, I don't know. They don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Chappie was not
endearing apparently, and not like Fritz the cat.
Also, like the most Sony movie ever. Like, there's just a scene where there's like a pile of PlayStation 4s. And, like, they're always using Sony Vaio laptops to do amazing things. Like, just incredible humanity, like, changing stuff. And it's just like, this is...
Does Chappie at some point find a Vita and say, is this a PS Vita? I should buy one of these for the car.
That reminds me of the amazing product placement there was in Project Almanac. That movie is a found footage movie that freeze frames on like a can of Red Bull for a really long time.
No. Produced by Michael Bay. Yeah. How was that? You saw that? How was that?
That was actually pretty good. It sort of has the problem too of where at the end nothing matters.
Okay.
But it had some good high school antics stuff.
Okay.
Like there's a scene where a guy uses the time travel power to pass a class exam where the teacher keeps changing the questions every time he goes back in time. And he gets more and more frustrated.
That shouldn't even be possible.
Like, one of their conceits is things happen differently when you're going back.
Okay.
And then, like, the butterfly effect of, like, the small changes they have affecting the world, and everything becomes terrible.
Okay.
So they have to undo everything. And then they undo everything.
And then you're just like,
wait. You're like, wait, what?
What did I just watch happen then? Like... All right. Huh. Yeah, movies. That was the newest one I've seen. I also watched Trespass, but hey. Have you ever seen Trespass? Do either of you know about Trespass? Can I share with you the magic of Trespass?
I'm not remembering.
Okay. Walter Hill directed it. It was written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale.
Oh, dude! It's that Cage and Kidman movie! Okay.
No! I've seen that. That movie is not very good.
The movie's called Trespass.
It is. It's also called Trespass. Oh, I should have known that would happen. No, it's the Ice-T, Ice Cube versus Bill Paxton and William Sadler movie. It's basically about greed and, like, gold. It's like Treasure of the Sierra Madre, but in a tenement building in Pittsburgh. And Ice-T and Ice Cube team up, and it's kind of cool. But,
so it's three kings in a tenement building?
Oh, I guess, sure. I mean, Ice Cube's there, too.
Yeah.
Can't get enough gold. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of fun. Like, totally nothing important. Like, it's just, hey, don't get too greedy, you know? Like, watch out. But simple morals or whatever. But it's kind of just a fun treasure hunt that goes wrong because gangsters. And, yeah hostage standoff kind of situation. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It didn't do well back when it came out, and, like, I don't know.
It's I can't imagine why with Ice Cube and Ice-T in it.
Well, no, like, they were big business at the time, like New Jack City and all this. Yeah.
They're great. Kind of.
They're kind of great. You're right.
Ice Cube had his time, but he was smart enough to realize that when you have money, there's nothing to be angry about anymore. So instead of being a nigga with attitude, you just got to ask, are we there yet?
And made successful family movies instead.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Produced sitcoms and stuff. And and like we found out on that website about net worth, he's got like $50 million, dude. That dude's doing okay.
Yeah.
Not Eminem money, but hey.
Now Chris Tucker needs to take a page out of his book.
It's right. Negative $10 million.
Hank, how much money do you have in your pocket? You are still richer than Chris Tucker.
Somehow, I don't like net worth, like I don't know, holdings or anything. Just somehow minus 11 million.
It must suck to be like a public joke and have negative money like that.
Well, he was always a public joke, but I mean, at least he had money at some point.
Yeah.
I hate Chris Tucker. Fuck that guy. How he ever got business?
He like ruins Fifth Element. Like I want them to
every
do
movie he's ever been in.
Remember,
Money Talks.
I never watched Money
Yeah,
Talks.
you probably shouldn't because he's the main reason to watch Money Talks.
Okay.
I remember liking Rush Hour when it first came out.
Wow, you were
That's
wrong.
about it.
No, I watched it a bunch when it first came out too, but I will never ever go back.
I can't go back to that movie.
And I won't watch the
go
third
back.
one. Like I
No, that's not happening. Rush Hour 2 was bad enough. God damn it. It was horrible.
What about Shanghai Nights and Shanghai Noon?
I only saw the first one, and that was terrible.
It's
Really
a play
didn't
on
get it.
words, get it?
I do get it.
Shanghai Noon.
Oh! Now I get it. Oh!
Right here. Revelations on the Burning Barrel podcast. Welcome.
Weird thing for me about Shanghai Nights is the guy who played, like the kid who plays Charlie Chaplin is Aaron Johnson, like Kick-Ass and Godzilla guy.
Don't even talk about Godzilla. He ruined that movie, kind of. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
No,
but-
it's not his fault.
He doesn't help anything, really.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Why do they always cut away when he's about to throw a punch? God damn it. So annoying.
But when he is on screen, he looks so good. But then he's not. The next second, he's gone. And you're looking at a kid sleeping on a couch.
Except
and he's
for
like,
that
oh,
point
something
where he-
amazing happened.
Yeah, except for that point where he is on screen and you're just like,
Oh,
it's worth it!
Yeah. Oh, he's going to
Best
breathe
part of that
fire.
movie is that they're gonna make Japanese Godzilla movies again.
Oh, okay.
That I'm looking for.
Oh, really? Like Toho's just going to
Yeah, they're gonna start making them again.
I found
Oh, man.
I found King
Okay.
Kong versus Godzilla in like a trash bin, so I'm pretty stoked to have that.
Yeah, there's some cool dubs of that. I don't know.
Love
I've
that
only
that
seen
movie-
dubs of some of the old stuff.
I love that movie was originally going to be Godzilla versus Frankenstein, but they didn't change enough of the plot, so King Kong gets powered up by electricity.
He does.
So good.
They don't even explain it. It's just
Nope.
no. He fell on the power lines and now he can punch better. I don't know.
It's like that guy from Commando.
Speaking of Toho, though, I finally watched this House, the Japanese horror movie from the late 70s.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
What a rush that movie was.
Yeah.
Like, just visually and like it was funny but weird, and I don't know. I also watched his the same director had a short film called Emotions that was on the Criterion disc, and I watched that too.
Okay.
Like just everything about his like super bombastic kind of style stuff was just like, oh, this is where Edgar Wright like got his moves, and like, you know, I can only see it like in the pop culture timeline, like this kind of hyperactive editing stuff was just like, oh, it's already happened, like in the late 70s and also mid 60s with his short film. So I don't know, but yeah, just a bunch of girls go to this weird house and a bunch of really surreal, strange stuff happens. And some of it's like
it's
really cool.
good. It's really good. Yeah.
This weird clock. And I don't know what's happening to her or why she's dying, but that clock is bad, and the piano eats that person, and I don't know, cats.
Did you ever see the comedy horror house?
Oh, like the 80s George Wendt?
Yep.
No, is that good?
Not really. Did you ever see House with Hugh Laurie?
Yes, sometimes I've seen a couple episodes.
That show is like CSI for medicine, and I like it.
Yeah,
It's the best version of Sherlock Holmes.
It is a version of Sherlock Holmes.
That new one's pretty good, but
I still have yet to see that, honestly.
it's the second episode of season 3. It's really good.
It has that one guy.
Yeah, from Imitation Game. Or which guy? Or the guy from The Hobbit. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. yeah, it's got those two guys.
What's his name?
Yeah,
I don't like how what's his name? Who's Sherlock in Sherlock?
Benedict
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
He's always playing characters who are closetedly gay. Always. Like that's his interest in playing a character. Like every time.
Well, Stephen Hawking. Like, no, I don't know. Like, but
Like
going further
he's
back.
in his head at least. That's how he's acting. It's really weird to me that he's always doing that.
Like that's somehow like the subtext or something. It's
Yeah.
just, like
I've
con.
seen in interviews where he's talked about that. That's what he cares about. Too.
Okay. It's like I want to inject a little bit of that into everybody. Like
A little bit of the D in
like
every
Khan
scene.
looks at Spock and you know what he's thinking, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's probably for the
explicit.
people in those tubes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like that
That's a
movie.
good point.
Yeah. House, great. I don't really know what to say about it. People should watch it. Maybe like what do you express about it? Cats are strange,
Dude, if you can find it, sure. It's probably on YouTube.
Oh, is it? I don't know. It's on, Criterion re-released it like 5 years ago. So
It's probably on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
okay.
So you could watch it that way, probably.
You could do it that way too. Is that guy still alive? Like, is he doing stuff? Did he do
Hugh Laurie?
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no. Obayashi, like the director.
I have no idea, actually. Let me look him
He
up
released
quickly.
a movie in 2014. So.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Okay. I'm
Called
wondering
7 Weeks, apparently.
what he's doing nowadays. Like, I don't really know. He had a really
7
cool thing
weeks.
going on. Okay.
Okay.
IMDb doesn't even have any photos for it.
No.
Like his movie Emotions, it's almost like it's like the making of the movie is most of the movie, but it's ostensibly a vampire movie, but then it isn't for like most of it. It's actually about just like his friends working together to make a thing. And like there's a great like Western stand-up like duel in it, but you can see the cameraman behind both of them. So there's like shot reverse shot, and then there's just cameraman behind him and a cameraman behind him, and it's the same guy. Because it's like I don't know, like it's just like super explicit about like this is a bunch of like high school friends making a movie. Like I don't know, like we're figuring stuff out. But it was pretty charming. And it was just 40 minutes. Like I just woke up early one morning before work and just turned it on and didn't know how long it was, and I was just sitting there watching it for almost an hour. I was just like, well, I don't know. That was great, but I gotta go to work now. There's this weird morning where I woke up at like 7:30 and just had hours to spare. But then at the end of those hours, I was having such a great time. I was so bummed out I had to go.
That's why I wake up the literal minute I have to get up to go to work.
It's probably the best way to do it. Like there was a brief time in school too where I was doing that, where I woke up super early and was playing Mass Effect 2 at like 6 in the morning. And I was like, man, this is great. I have class in like an hour. And it's like, I gotta catch the bus. Like, man, this sucks. Like I used all my entertainment time for today at the beginning, and now I'm gonna be exhausted later and fall asleep at like 9. Like I did this wrong. So I think I'm gonna stay a late night person instead of an early morning person. For that reason, but yeah. Sorry for what you seem to be looking at a screen. What's next? What?
No, I'm just reading something about House.
Oh, like the Hugh Laurie.
No, no,
movie. It's coming back.
no. The Obayashi film. What the fuck is the matter with you?
Oh, okay, sorry, I don't know. I'm trying to stay on topic.
Yeah, trying to stay on topic. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. The topic is clearly House, the TV show.
Actually, okay, like, do you know what Japan was doing in terms of horror around that time? Because, like, I know subsequently they did a bunch of weird stuff, but, like, in the 70s, were there ghost movies? Like, is this a reaction to something, or is it just... No, this was...
Honestly, I don't know, but I would like to figure out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know Japan developed a reputation for horror later, but this is kind of an early example in my knowledge of, like... I have no idea what they were doing. And I know, like, stuff was influenced by House, like Sam Raimi and stuff. With his mixture of tones and whatever. But this predates that, and I don't know, like, what was happening prior to that, if they did spooky stuff. Like, I know Kurosawa and his super serious business and whatever, but I don't have a lot of extracurricular, like, Japanese film knowledge about that. So, I don't know. Anyway, I was wondering if you knew.
Only weird Japanese history rabbit hole I've been down recently was the history of Magical Girl anime, which all ties back to the animated opening of Bewitched.
What?
You can draw it all back to there.
Okay.
Because it got really popular in Japan. And like
That
the first
showed
two, Bewitched.
Okay.
And then the first two Magical Girl anime are both sort of inspired by that, where they're about witches on broomsticks.
Oh.
Okay.
Like, we've also been watching a bunch of Card Captor Sakura recently, which is that in, like, the 90s. It's just...
I love
I'm
that
going to
show.
go collect a new magical power thing this week, and... Oh, no! This other kid's trying to get it, and... Oh, I got it.
I never got into that. I watched a few episodes of it, and I don't know why.
Like, it might partially depend on, like, are we talking about Card Captors, the North Americanized version, or... Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway...
In Card Captor Sakura, I find it pretty impressive. There's no evil in that show. They're jerks, but there's no actual evil.
I guess not. No, I guess not. There's some malicious cards, but there's not straight up. And like some of the cards feel remorseful after they've done stuff, which I kind of appreciated some of those. I'm just like, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know. It's just like, oh, that was weird. Almost, I don't know. That's something I somehow equate to like just the Shadow of the Colossus thing of like, oh, I killed the monster, but now I feel bad about it. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't malicious. Or like, I don't know, Mononoke or something where like there's this big weird guardian spirit, but it's trashing stuff, but it's not bad. It just was, walking around. But I don't know. Elements, forces of nature, and we are the ones having issue with it. Like, they trash that aquarium. We got to stop it. And I don't know.
I also really like how the show slowly builds up relationships over time, like over the course of it. It slowly is building.
Sauron super grating though when he showed up. I was mad. I was like, oh man, it was just Tomoyo and Sakura hanging out, filming weird videos and them solving bizarre crime, like card mysteries, not crimes, but sort of.
Crime
and
mysteries.
Then, after like 7 episodes of that, it's just like also there's this Chinese mystic kid who also wants cards and is really mean.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
I don't like that. I don't know. This guy though, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Character. But anyway. Binge watching shows though, we watched like 30 of those, and then I was just like, we need to take a break. I can't watch this. I can't watch this like this, because it's like this was designed for you to watch once a week over the course of like a couple of years. But then it's just like if you watch it all, you're just like, wow, like every episode is almost the same. Like they just, oh no, what's going on? Oh, it's a card. Okay, and then they solve it. They just figure it out. Sometimes they do the card up front, and then something else happens later. But then they use the card. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. That I watched that show basically like watching a couple episodes every week for a while till I finished it. That was a good amount of that show, because that is for sure. It does stuff. It's mostly episodic, but then slowly builds stuff. So it's like worth seeing through. But you binge watching, it's not built for.
4 episodes at a time. Like Brittany has them on disc, so it's just 4 episodes per disc, and it's just like full disc, and it's like we gotta stop. It's like 3-4 hours of stuff. Like it's great, but man, I can't do it like this. Not like this. So
not like this.
Not like this.
You need those shorter shows for binge watching like that.
Maybe. Or I don't know. I didn't like background watching, like just like I'm making finger puppets and then I leave a commentary on or something. Like I watched the Hellraiser commentary track, and that was actually pretty cool.
It's great.
Yeah, I'd never listened to it before. It's like I love it when it's a conversation. Like there was like 3 people in it, all like never stops with just a circle of stories and observations and little things making up.
You must love Kevin Smith commentary tracks then.
I've enjoyed a couple of the ones I've.
That is literally all that is them having a conversation with the movie playing in the background. Usually not even about the movie, which is kind of the biggest bummer.
Maybe. This was on topic still the whole time. Like I felt like I knew so much more about Hellraiser after it was over. I was like, okay, Hellraiser was fine. I've never seen any of the sequels, so I think I should just stop.
You should watch 2. Because
just
2 is a continuation of where 1 leaves off.
Okay. With some
There's
involvement.
a weird hell labyrinth.
Okay. And was Barker still sort of involved? Like story idea or something? I think he had
probably
something. But I mean, the first one's written, directed, all that.
You should watch 3 for the stupid Xenobites they introduce. There's a guy that throws discs, and they look like CDs before CDs were a thing.
And I should watch this. Like
it's fucking dumb.
Okay.
There's more screen time for the Chatterer one, which is just the guy with the teeth going like.
Yeah,
that's all
that guy was there.
That's all he kind of does.
I guess it's kind of neat marveling at just like the low budget stuff, but how much they pulled off with just lighting and like good staging and I don't know, and like just makeup, like just There's a lot with a little in the first episode.
There's 2 parts in Hellraiser I remember.
Yeah.
One dude is being ripped apart and like his face and stuff is hanging by the things. He's like, Jesus wept.
Hell yeah, he says that. Yeah. There's a whole explanation about why and the actor coming up with that line and everything. That was an improv thing.
And the second scene is when they're moving in, there's a nail sticking out of a doorway, and he gets his hand caught.
God. Yeah, it's so brutal. Even without sound and everything, you're just seeing it happen, and it's like, oh no,
because
he's gonna
it's not even
his hand.
fast; it's slow.
It's like,
and it just digs
drags
right in
through his hand. Yeah, it's brutal, and it's like not at all the most violent thing that happens in that movie, but it's the most relatable violent thing that happens.
Yeah,
like it's like I have moved a mattress before, and that could happen.
Watching it hurts. It fucking hurts.
Yep,
that movie's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of great.
There's a lot of weird, dumb backstory they do not get into at all about the box.
About the box and everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably best to leave that kind of as mysterious as you can.
I absolutely agree.
Yep.
Yeah. I've never read Barker stuff. Did you ever go down that path?
I read Hellraiser.
Okay. I guess he also had like the Books of Blood or something, like collections of short stories, which sounds...
I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge Barker fan.
Okay.
At all.
He just did that one good thing.
I think he is basically the Marilyn Manson for writers. He is a shock jockey.
I don't know.
I don't think there's a... I think everything he puts out there is superficial and for the like, oh, that's creepy or something. Also, Jericho was a bad game.
Yeah, it's weird. He's also done
Jericho.
video game stuff from time to time. Like, that's not even his first game, right? Wasn't there one in the 90s, like an adventure game?
Which one?
You're
probably right.
I know something exists that he had a major role in, but I can't tell you the title right now. He's been...
Are you talking about Undying?
Maybe? Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
I never played it.
That? Okay.
So, I don't know. It's on GOG.com, and I am buying it right now.
Just like, well, maybe he did do something good. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. This looks like Blood, but not as good. Blood was revolutionary back in the day.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it's not as good. I don't know.
That UI.
People who bought it also bought Blood.
Okay, well, hey, maybe you just found something kind of okay. Maybe. Brought to you by the good commentator Clive Barker. That's what he's known for.
He also
now.
released those dolls. Do you remember them? They were just okay. So, do you remember Spawn like action figures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
super highly detailed little action figures from Todd McFarlane's line.
Yeah, yeah. There was
Clive Barker did something similar, but it was just like mutilated pieces of like human flesh, sort of. Not like pieces of flesh, but like mutilated people.
Delightful.
And they were extraordinarily expensive. I think each action figure, they were pretty big. I think they were like the 6-foot figures or whatever. Not 6 foot, the half foot. Like figures.
Okay.
6 inch. The 6-inch figures. And they were like $50 to $70 new. And now they're kind of collector's items because a lot of stores pulled them off the shelves because they were just too grotesque.
Okay.
I'll look them up right now and send you a link later, but I don't know.
Hey, maybe Clive Barker was never great, but he did do one cool movie in the late 80s, and the Blu-ray has a lot of cool special features, so I don't know. There's that. Anchor Bay. They do good work sometimes. Maybe.
Sometimes. You're not.
They have something to do with stars, though, now? So, I don't know.
They're called the Tortured Souls line.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
gross.
I mean, it's what goth kids are into. So if you're a goth kid, you probably love this, and you're probably not listening to the show. So move along.
Are there goth kids still? Like, what are the new cliques? What's going on right now?
Like internet junkies and there's
MOBA
probably still
fiends.
No, I think that kind of goes in the same.
Oh, okay.
See, the weird thing is, like, from my perception, I think there's probably still cliques, but they are all split up into, like, gaming cliques now, where it's, like, you got the Call of Duty guys, and you got the, like, RPG fans or whatever. Like, they split up based on, like, what type of games they play, because it seems like gaming is just such a big thing.
You should read Ready Player One. Like, this is the extension of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird.
Okay.
It's what's going to happen. No, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just where we're going. And it's really, I don't know.
You are implying it is bad.
You're right. Write letters, kids. Go down to the post office.
Don't
buy
write
some stamps.
letters. No, that shit costs money.
It's like it's like $4, and they have National Film Board like stuff on them.
It's
It's
like
awesome.
$4 for something somebody's gonna throw away.
No, dude, like
All that
man
garbage.
will take all this paper you just wrote words on to another house anywhere in the country for like $1. It's crazy.
And
It's a
for
great
like
deal.
a week.
Yeah, it'll take a while, but hey, slow down. Brew a pot of tea while you're waiting
For
every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's
Clean your
big,
kettle. Like I don't know.
a big pot of tea.
Like harvest some tea leaves, let them dry out a little bit, and put them in a thing. Just make a big production of it, and then at the end of it, just go down to the library, sit in the study carrels, and then write a letter to somebody. That's what I've been doing. Sometimes it's fun. In a
I
way,
wrote a letter.
fun, right?
Sent it to TDP. I sent it to John's freaking PO box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Open an envelope with a little thing and read it, and be delighted. I'm sure. I don't know.
It was dumb.
What clique were you guys in high school?
In high school, we didn't really have cliques in my high school.
Bullshit.
No, we were probably.
No,
the
my
nerds
high
or
school was
whatever.
you had to like pass the PSATs to get in, and we were all good at school, and all the guys got along. Like the cliques were with the girls had cliques, but in my class, the guys we all basically sat at one table at lunch, even
Okay.
while a lot of us played Magic the Gathering. Like as far as a clique goes, that was the clique I was in. The Magic the Gathering, going to school early and playing Magic the Gathering before school started.
I remember the table of kids playing Magic the Gathering and had no one else sat near them because they didn't really want to invite anybody.
We invited everyone. Like by my senior year, it was basically just people from my class here, and
okay.
a couple of us playing Magic.
Okay.
I think it just divided into, do you like video games or do you like sports? And then it was just like, okay, and you'll just never see those other people because you're busy playing Half-Life at your friend's house or Resident Evil or something. And it was just, there was a small group. Also, this is a class of like 17 people, so that was like
Wow.
4 people, and then the other 4 people were on a team, and then the rest were girls, and I don't know. They actually, sometimes they were playing Halo, but poorly. But, you felt bad. I don't know. But don't apologize too often, because then it's patronizing at a point when you kill them in the video game. Because it's weird. Yeah.
Video game etiquette.
Yep. Halo 2 was popular.
Halo
It was
2
fun.
was a fun time.
Yeah. It was.
Halo 1 was like my group of friends' time with that game, though.
Blood Gulch and such.
We had one friend
Beaver
that
Creek.
bought an Xbox. Everybody else had like anything else. Basically, he was the only one with an Xbox, so we would go to his house and just get that orange soda out, maybe order a pizza, and play the most Halo like you could play, and make fun of the one kid who. There was always somebody, and I don't know why it happened. There was always just like one person that hung out with us is like, "You're the victim tonight," or something. Just got like just verbally assaulted all night.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
That all essentially happened where it's like I had a GameCube and a PS2, and there was a guy who had an Xbox, and that was the multiplayer machine apparently. So
It
that
was.
the center of a lot of stuff.
And then
But
Monkey
always
Ball
Halo.
started happening, and fights broke out.
What?
Not on Xbox, but
Oh, no, obviously, but that's not how these evenings ended. It's like, and then someone brought out Monkey Ball, and oh my god, then it got too real. I had to leave. Okay.
I had weird friends.
Yeah.
I had a weird group to hang out with, because like we were very much into the video games, and then there was just like a point where it turned, and it was like all about drinking. Like really heavily, and then playing Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball was there for years for some reason, and I don't know why.
That was the game.
That
That
was the
well
game.
drunk would be super extra worse, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
that game's kind of hard to keep
Yeah.
in control.
It is literally the worst. It is
Okay.
really bad. So we started smoking weed, and that slowed down your mind enough to concentrate on it. But then it felt like every level took hours.
My group of friends started different drug. It's called Dota and then World of Warcraft.
Dude, you'd be better off with heroin.
Those are the drugs we fell in with.
I mean, I guess we can talk around it a bit. In the office, League of Legends has finally been discovered.
Okay,
and I'm just sitting in my corner, like, no, I don't want to talk about this, but like, this has been huge forever. Like, I don't even know, and I know. Like, that same osmosis fog I was talking about, of just like, no, this is like the biggest game.
Today, somebody said something about like watching them play an ARAM, and I was just like, I'm gonna ARAM my dick up your fucking ass if you don't shut the fuck up. Like, I was so mad, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just like, you knew about something for so long, and when other people discover it, you want them to die. Because it's just like, no, this is the most obvious
not a joyous thing. It's weird. It's like, oh, like they're getting into a thing I know about, but it's not fun. It's like bad. It's like when everyone's getting into Daft Punk 2 years ago, and you're just like, I already was hipstering about this 10 years ago. So fuck you. But it's a little worse, I admit, because it's the biggest game in the world. Like, it's not a secret.
It's like bigger than all of Steam.
For years on every gaming thing, it's like, who is this person cosplaying as? And it's like, fucking League of Legends. And it's like, okay. And then you just know. Like, you just start absorbing things. But no, it's brand new. 2015, the year of League. At least it's keeping things kind of quiet in the office now. Like, they're fully absorbed by their laptop. So I'm okay. But
what are you talking about, laptop?
I don't know.
Oh, is this on the weekend?
This is on the weekend. So on slower days, there's less talking now. There's just the folks.
See, Wayward makes the biggest point here. It's big enough to break Twitch daily.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's just weird. I don't know what to.
I think what makes me mad about it is just that, like, there's a few things that make me mad about it. First of all, it's that whole, like, this has been around forever, what are you doing with your life bullshit. Mm-hmm. When you get past that, there's also the, like, MOBAs have been around forever, what are you doing with your life bullshit, like, a little more broad.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the selfish, like, no, I play Dota, you are playing the wrong game. There's a little bit of that in there.
Scrub League nonsense here. You're playing baby version.
Like, I'm not even going to dance around it because he doesn't work with us anymore. You remember Jaden.
Yeah.
I used to give him shit all the time about League. Just like, all the time. And I knew that I could tell it was getting to him a little bit. I think I was starting to break him before he left. But
we're talking about his rank all the time, and you're just like, dude, I'm like platinum. Like, you don't even know.
Yeah, I remember, like, he's like, you play? I'm like, kind of, what rank are you? And he's like, silver. It's like, talk to me when you hit gold.
But then didn't you play with him and you're like bronze or something? So it's
I'm not even ranked. I don't play it enough to get ranked.
Yeah. So like, yeah. Oh well.
And then I said play Dota, and he's like, no, I can't. I'm like, yeah, because you suck. He's like, it's too hard. It's like, that's like the answer every League player has. It's like, it's too hard. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was in a room full of Scrub League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Filthy fucking casuals. I don't know. There's kind of an exclusionary thing there that's annoying me too, where it's just like, I know, like, when they talk about any video game, it's actually not a League of Legends thing. It's when they talk about anything, it's just like, I know so much more about the history of everything you're talking about. I could school you, but I don't want to talk to you. Like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to the filth. I want to talk to the two other guys I do a podcast with that can talk on the same level as me. You are the lowest filth, sort of thing. Like,
yeah,
I was so mad when that one douchebag was just like, Modern Warfare 2 is just better than Advanced Warfare. It's like, that's just objectively not true, because one of them has improved on all those mechanics. But whatever. Like, it's one of those things I don't even care what they're talking about.
No, it's like, if you open that valve, I guess,
that's
it's like,
it.
If you trigger it, I'm going to talk to you for like 30 minutes just at you. And it's going to be so aggressive. It's going to be terrible.
Yes.
Like, I might get fired. And I don't know. Like, it'll just be such dark, rich like negativity flying out. I can't do it, so I'm just gonna tighten it a little more and just hope it goes away. And the pressure.
You are completely right. You are like.
It's weird,
and the weird thing is I feel it coming because every now and then, like a conversation goes a little bit more in my wheelhouse. There was one time where they mentioned something about World of Warcraft. I'm like, this is it. The valve's breaking. It's coming. Like
you don't even know.
Like you
don't know who is in your presence.
Like you do not step to me about World of Warcraft right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you played on your little tune for the last month? Motherfucker, I got 10 years on you. I will wreck you. But then at the same time, you don't want to say that because it is the pettiest, most loser thing.
I know it's such a petty topic too. It's just like I don't want to like school you in my video game knowledge. Like that's not my pride and joy right now. And plus they haven't hit like a sensitive fissure or whatever yet.
For you yet.
Yeah, there hasn't been a game that's like, okay, no, you can't be saying things ignorantly about that near me.
One day during our lunch hour at work, you and I went to a Chili's. We sat down and had a nice meal and talked about you equating a video game experience or playing video games as like taking a vacation.
Sure, like going to a place you like. And if you have a franchise you like, you're returning to your cottage every summer or whatever. But yeah.
Basically what I'm getting at is having the conversation with these dumbasses is essentially going to be the whole, like, I got a nice little place in Aspen. It's like, well, I got a mansion in Barcelona, motherfucker. It's just the dumbest one-upping bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's about the most useless topic ever. It's not even about, like, I know about politics and things that are going on, like, that are scary or, like, important in real life. I know about this digital pixel thing better than you.
Yeah. Yes. That is part of what I'm trying to like fight the urge to, because it's like I'm not going to be proud of myself either after this battle is won. Like it'll just
that's
be
the thing. The battle will be won, but how many casualties are we okay with?
It's just,
and we have to work with the dead bodies every day. That's the problem too.
Right. It's I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, it's just every week a little bit more, but it'll go away, I imagine, hopefully. So,
I don't know.
I'm really glad that right now it's in a vein of gaming I just don't care about. Like it's like, oh, MOBAs, go ahead. It stands for Battle Arena. You didn't know that yet? Okay, whatever. That's fine. Just go and play them, and I will just be fine. That actually happened this weekend, where it's like, I don't know what it stands for, and I was like, it's this.
Oh, you spoke up? It's
Battle Arena. And so they know I know things that I ought not if I was just not involved at all, but that's all. I'm just a question mark right now, I think, which is fine. I'd rather.
And I used to like the fucking discount Paul Giamatti we have working with us. He's annoyed me every day, more and more.
Really? Okay.
Fuck that dude.
I don't see him at all now, really. So except one day.
Good.
So, okay.
I wish I didn't see him ever, because he'd be dead. That's maybe a little
that
far.
Bad?
No,
okay.
No. There are people in our office I wish would just straight up have a heart attack and die in front of me. He is not one of them.
Yeah.
Or at least get fired. That would be equivalent, because I wouldn't see them anymore. That's probably the better way to go. Let's go with that.
Sure.
Hank,
yes.
Are you petty about video game chatter?
I mean, it's when you have someone you already don't like suddenly getting into a thing you're really knowledgeable about, and I could tell you, I could school you, but then I'd have to be talking to you.
This is the exact problem we're talking about, actually, because I just kind of didn't like these kids right from the get-go.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad about it too, because it feels like in an alternate dimension we're best friends.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar interests and things being expressed, but just being expressed a little bit wrong. Not quite the way I want it. It's just a generational tuning thing of just we're into this, but in different ways, and that isn't going to work. It's just just missing in all the key things that matter. The passion is different.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Last week, the valve loosened a little bit for me, too. Like, it started spurting a little bit because the one motherfucker we're dancing around and talking about who still works with us, he just out of nowhere was like, hey, Paul, Battlefield Hardline's coming out soon. And I was just like, actually, it's already in beta, and there's already streams of it you can watch. It's just like, it's like, oh, shit, he knows. He knows I know video game stuff. Like, I'm fucked now. So I'm dreading Thursday when he comes in because I think there's going to be another conversation. And if it goes anywhere near League of Legends, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just how things are.
I'm trying to think of something they could talk to you about that would bother you. And I think it would be something to do with Nintendo. I'm just not sure what yet.
I don't know what they like. Super Mario RPG came out at one point, but that didn't really bother me because I was actually just just having my experience of trying to replay it and being like, I like the music, but I don't know, kind of stuff. So that was not a sensitive spot. No one anywhere is talking about Wario's Woods for the Super Nintendo, so that will never happen. Which is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I'm not even sure. Like, I've lost a lot of Zelda reverence recently, so that's fine. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have one, but there might be.
What if you overheard them talking?
Like,
and they were just like, I just saw that Grand Budapest Hotel. I really wish it was as good as The Life Aquatic.
That's such a silly thing.
See, your blood pressure's already rising. I'm saying it in jest, and you're already.
That would require a level of Wes Anderson. No one there. Like, there's one person there who's that film literate, and I've had that conversation already, so it's fine. Like, it's not even a problem. And,
yeah, she's all right, actually.
Yeah, and Life Aquatic's like his worst movie. Like, everyone knows that. So, and whatever, even if someone didn't, I'd be really, curious as to what they're getting out of it. Like, what am I not seeing? Like, are you a big Jacques Cousteau documentary fan? Is that the keystone? Is that what I'm missing? But I don't know. I just don't.
That movie needed Gene Hackman instead of Bill Murray.
I'm about to watch Tenenbaums again, so I'll see Gene Hackman and
because Gene Hackman's enough of a jerk that he can kind of work in that. Bill Murray's too likable for what his place in that movie.
I disagree because I hate Bill Murray. So
enough.
I don't think it's anything he's doing in his performance. Like, he does the kind of bone dry.
No, it's the way the character is written and positioned around.
I don't even know if it's Zissou himself. I think it's just like the son him dynamic and stuff. And when important character stuff happens that just doesn't impact at all. Like, you're just like, oh, okay, that person's gone now. Okay. Whatever. Also, that it's a movie about the wonders of the sea, and it's all animated. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know why you do that. Like, I guess they're just like, well, Jacques Cousteau already actually documented sea creatures, so we're not going to use real sea creatures. We're going to have animated sea creatures, but it's like that isn't even a real thing. So I don't know. I'm not getting anything out of this right now, other than it's a fake-looking shark that is weird looking, which is fine. It doesn't work. That movie just doesn't work. It does. It's like trying to do things.
I really like the music in it. The Portuguese covers
Bowie
of David
covers?
Bowie songs. Yeah,
I guess it's weird that that's the guy from City of God. They're just like, hey, you know how to play guitar? All right, you're in our movie. It's like, okay,
it's just a weird thing.
Yeah, I like the Mark Mothersbaugh, like the Ping Island song. I really like that, but I don't know. Anyway, hey, Wes Anderson movies. That won't. I'm not going to get upset about that. Someone would literally have to be talking about stuff beyond Grand Budapest at this point, like trash talking Stefan Zweig short stories. But I would be also amazed that I finally found someone who bothered reading those. So I don't know. It's like, you actually read Fear? Amazing. You hated it, but crazy.
What if they start talking about the Lego movie?
I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. I feel like maybe that venom has left me by now, but I'm not sure yet. It's been a little while.
Well, let's get somebody you don't like very much talking about it at you, and we'll see.
What are you gonna do though? Just leave Lego Movie Blu-rays around and hope someone watches it? Just try to sabotage me? like just start stirring up like a bunch of media I don't like and just have that be
this is
the
what I'm going to do
conversation.
Thursday when he's leaving. I'm going to be like, oh, have you seen the Lego movie? Yeah, I heard it was really good. I don't think Nathan liked it very much. Maybe you should talk with him about it tomorrow.
Why would you say that? Okay, don't do that. Like, you already bought me the Lego Movie game. Everyone was so angry. I was like, no, I don't want it. I can't believe you spent $30 on this mean joke.
I didn't. I spent $7.
Okay.
It was on a sale. Otherwise,
okay.
I wouldn't
joke.
I wouldn't spend $30 on a joke.
Okay. That's at least a little better. But
that was funny.
I love joke gifts.
Huh?
Gifts are amazing. Joke gifts are amazing. Just giving something someone that they'll hate. Just to laugh.
They can be.
You my friends do that to each other. That's a thing.
is that still what 50th birthdays are for? You know?
The like over the hill gag.
Yeah, like just kind of joke gifts birthday because you're old now. Like, welcome to old.
Every gift is kind of a joke if you think about it, since we're all going to be dead eventually.
What happened this week? Like, is there just
No, nothing. I'm just stating that life is very fragile and we're all going to be mud one day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's what we do in the meantime. I don't know.
Like watch Attack the Block.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Attack the Block's real good. After I saw 71, I was like, I want to watch a good movie. I want to watch Attack the Block.
Oh, so
Well,
you've seen it before then?
Yeah, I've watched it before.
Okay.
I love how quick that movie gets going.
Mm-hmm.
Just immediately, they rob the woman, and then the alien crashes, and they kill it. Just boom, and then title scene. Like, so quick, just getting through everything set up. Oh, it's so good. Just gets moving.
Who does that movie again? I'm looking it up right now.
Joe Cornish?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
Cornish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edgar Wright, collaborator kind of guy.
Yeah, producer.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar Wright produced it, I think.
Weird, like, inky black aliens with weird teeth.
Yes.
And then there's a big explosion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun. And the big thing about it after seeing 71 was in 71 it was really bad about establishing space. So like where characters are, even though it's like in a real place and you're sort of in the same spot for a lot of the movie. Didn't establish space real well, so I wanted to watch a movie that established space. And so you had an idea of the geography of how things were kind of well, and the Attack the Block does that pretty well.
Well, it's like mostly in
Doesn't-
that one building, right?
Yeah,
So
up the block.
it's kind of like
British name
Gremlins
for,
2, the new
apartment building.
batch. Yeah.
What is it with you and Gremlins 2 lately?
I-
Every time
It's really good.
it's been brought up 3 times.
I don't know,
The
I
last
finally
3
watched
times
it.
we've talked.
Really? Okay, sorry for overdoing it then. It's okay. But like I don't know. It's just in one big giant tower and
Yeah,
a bunch
like
of weird
Red
monsters
Redemption
on it.
and Dread. Also
Yeah,
used
Dread's
that.
good. Raid.
Yeah.
Just kind of establishing an environment that you're in for the whole movie. I'm trying to think of other stuff that does that well. Like in different kind of stuff. Snowpiercer could have been better, but it's in a train. I don't know. Das Boot is in a boat. It's a
So
U-boat.
just like,
Claustrophobic movies. I
oh,
guess.
well then, Night of the Living
Lifeboat.
Dead. It was in that house.
Yeah, Night of
It's
the
all in
Living
that
Dead.
house.
Yep.
Sure.
I love the scenes of zombies eating in that movie.
Or
Okay.
House mostly takes place in that house. So there's that too.
Huh.
House mostly takes place in a hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey, sometimes it takes place in prison.
You're right.
And Trespass takes place entirely in that one building. But, yeah, anyway. Claustrophobic. And I mean, Trespass with Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman also takes place in a house, but it's bad.
What about that Buried Alive? That takes place in a coffin.
Yeah, but you're in a coffin with Ryan Reynolds. So.
Dude, Ryan Reynolds can get fucked. I hate that guy.
Well, I mean, we're already basically... He's not in the, Justice League, right? He's gone. Got kicked out. Probably.
Yeah, because R.I.P. was like an actual bomb. Like, it wasn't one of these bombs that just made almost as much as they spent to make it. That barely made any money, and they spent a whole bunch of money on it. So he's kind of dead as an action star.
Good.
I mean, he's Canadian and everything, but I don't.
Although he might be Deadpool, that might happen.
Oh right, R-rated Deadpool movie. Didn't they miss their window on that? Do people care? Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
So now I just feel like I'm just grouching about stuff. That
remember
X-Men
exist. Origins Wolverine?
I do.
That movie's fantastic.
It's Wolverine explodes through history. He goes to a time period, there's an explosion, and he walks away.
And he's in every battle.
Yeah. It always ends with an explosion before he moves on. It's a great premise.
And then in Wolverine, there's a big nuke. And he's like, oh, falls in that hole.
Yep.
Yep.
Wolverine explodes through history.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
It's sort of
What?
weird to me that Hugh Jackman is Australian and the 90s cartoon, there was a 90s cartoon version where Wolverine had an Australian accent for some reason. It's like we can't accept Wolverine as we don't know what Canadian is, so we're just going to make him Australian. That's a thing that happens.
Canadian's kind of Australian if you think about it.
South African's
different
kind of
accent.
Australian, if
No,
you
it's
think.
Doesn't
not.
sound the same.
New Zealand's
We're Canadian, mate.
Want a piece of fruit?
Put some shrimp on the bobby.
No,
That's how we speak.
Can we answer questions or something? Like, I feel like we're just complaining about things for no reason. Like, it's just like...
Also, Wolverine's supposed to be short. Hugh Jackman is really tall. It's weird.
Yeah, strange casting.
Who would you cast as Wolverine then? Danny DeVito.
There's a minor character in Slapshot who apparently was the artist John Byrne's inspiration for the character.
Okay.
I recently bought Slapshot. I haven't watched it yet. But it was at this weird work movie sale. And I don't know why that happened, but they had Harry and the Hendersons and the Slapshot movies, and I bought them.
He's like going up for the face-off, and he says to the other guy, surgery, open heart. His eyes get really wide. And like he hits the guy with a high stick immediately as the game starts. That was the inspiration for how Wolverine looked in the John Byrne era original X-Men comics.
That's a real Canadian right there.
Exactly.
Hockey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Questions.
Questions? Or do you want to talk about Code Monkey Save the World?
Oh, yeah. I'll just briefly mention it. It was the comic book written by Greg Pak, who's sort of well known for doing The Incredible Hercules, and it's based on putting Jonathan Colton songs all together into one story.
Weird.
And it came out of a Kickstarter that literally started on Twitter of Greg Pak just saying, it would be pretty cool if you just jammed all the Jonathan Colton stories into one story, and then Jonathan Colton just tweeted back at him, do it. And then they did it, and it came out like a year ago.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
Are there lyrics in there then?
There are lines. There's like are there
lyrics to IKEA in there?
I don't think IKEA showed up.
If you don't have a home,
the curling
you can buy
guy.
one there. Okay.
The curling guy is in it. He's put the rock in the house. Is said a bunch of times.
What about any lyrics from Not About You?
Not About You.
That seems kind of like it would be kind of
It's hard. Like the creepy doll is in it. There's zombies.
Soterius Johnson?
Soterius Johnson, is he in it?
I don't think Soterius Johnson shows up either. I think that's one.
Oh, okay.
It's a cold hard world no one understands, though.
Is there a seahorse in it? Like, what is... Is there a Yeti that looks after a guy or whatever?
Skull Crusher is a character.
Jonathan Colton has some dumb lyrics.
I like some of those songs.
Oh, they're great.
They're great. But so a lot of his
Sky
songs
Mall?
are stories. So
what about I'm Your Moon?
That's a great song.
It is.
But I don't know
and
how you'd incorporate it into a story.
And like I said, that song, every time I listen to it, is like the song that reminds me about John. And it's really weird. But that's a long story. Don't.
Okay, I don't.
No, I told you about this. Don't you begin.
Okay. It's just abstract, but okay.
It is. Anyways, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Let's go on to question. God damn it.
What? I'm playing with the frame.
All right. So if you want to write in, you can do it on Twitter. If you're listening to this, you know how to find it. Allison writes in, I'm watching Game of Thrones Season 4 right now, and I really like it. Any TV shows you'd recommend that are like Game of Thrones? I have to ask what you mean by like Game of Thrones.
Well, Boardwalk Empire has incest in it, so it's kind of like Game of Thrones.
See, I was thinking that, like, it's one of those things where there's a whole bunch of characters you don't give a shit about at all, so Walking Dead's kind of like that.
Boardwalk Empire also.
If you just, if you want another TV show that's based on a book that got too popular, or, like, not the TV show, but the book, like maybe... what's it called? Vampire Diaries?
Okay.
If you just want like a TV show based on a book, that's huge. If you want something more medieval, maybe watch a movie.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of medieval fantasy TV shows. That's kind of what's setting it apart. Maybe check out Seventh Son. I've heard it's the worst thing ever. And I'm kind of curious about it.
Oh, I was watching streams on Twitch, and they just kept playing that one ad over and over again for everything I was watching. It was horrible. I was so sick of that
Jeff Bridges
trailer.
staring in the face of the monster in that little bit, or no?
I don't think that was in it.
Okay. She explains in chat, lots of violence and dragons. That is a specific...
No. You're kind of... No,
you should watch Dragonheart, because Sean Connery voices the dragon.
David Thewlis is the bad guy. It's actually okay.
You should watch Reign of Fire, because that movie's actually okay.
It has dragons in it. It's true.
Yeah.
Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey is bald. He like jumps out of a plane or a helicopter or something at a dragon.
Yep.
I saw it once like 12 years ago.
That show Merlin had a dragon in it. That show was terrible.
Oh.
So it's like
Sam Neill? Like the like TV miniseries from like the 90s?
No, this is a more recent series about like a young Merlin.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go further back? I'm pretty sure there's a Merlin miniseries from the 90s with Sam Neill, and it probably has magic and probably not violence or dragons. I don't think they had it in the budget. Yeah, okay. Watch Excalibur.
What would you recommend? Like, let's get away from the like Game of Thrones thing. Just like another good TV series.
The Wire is real good.
I've heard that from every single person that has watched The Wire. So
it's real good.
Like, so 5 people can't be wrong, right?
That's come up a lot too. Yeah, I've never taken the time to do that, but maybe I can.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching it on DVDs when it was coming out. Would binge it. Like a couple times, we even had some weird thing. My dad knew of a friend who worked with someone who we got like the DVDs before it aired on TV. We got like bootleg DVDs, which was cool.
Bootleg DVDs.
I mean,
yeah.
I've thought about it maybe more since I've stopped watching it, but like, I mean, I finished watching The Sopranos like last year. We talked about it some, but like, it's just like, it's just lingered in my brain for some reason. Like, I will have just a dream and like a character from that show will just be in it. And I don't know why. Like, it's something about how it was written, or some of its more esoteric episodes are just like really interesting. And they're just, I don't know. My subconscious is still chewing on them, and I like that. So Sopranos is pretty good. There's some really interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, I particularly like the early seasons. I thought at some point they
season
decided
5 was my favorite though, but like it's basically what the Mad Men staff were working on that show.
Oh. I didn't like it when they started deciding that people liked Tony Soprano too much, and they started trying to make him more of an asshole. I don't know exactly. Remember when that happened?
There's kind of just a turn in his therapy where it's just like, you have just been using this to like become a better criminal kind of thing. And it's like, huh. I mean, he's been doing horrible stuff this whole time.
Yeah.
They do kind of, highlight him as he's not a good person.
His mother is like the worst person in the world.
Yeah, and she's in the early seasons, and then she's not. So, I don't know. Those later seasons I probably like more. Although season 4 wasn't the best. Like, I was just, I at the time, I was, like, just going through IMDb all the time with, like, the next episode or whatever, and I noticed that season 4 was, like, a full point lower than every other season. Like, every single episode ranking was just lower, and it had the lowest of the whole series, which was, like, 6 point something for, like, the finale for that season. I was just like,
something bad happened in season 4. Like, I don't know what was going on, but watching it, I don't know. It just doesn't have clear direction for a while. And I think that was the episode where there was just like, they just kind of seem to invent a trait for a character for an episode. Like, just like, he's addicted to gambling. What? When was that ever a thing? I don't know. He just is now for this episode. We need a story where that's the case because I wrote it. I don't know. It just seemed cobbled together.
Yeah, I haven't watched The Sopranos since I was watching it when it was coming out on DVD. Me and my dad would binge seasons until basically The Wire started coming out and we transitioned to that more primarily.
Undercover Cops? Or what is...
It sort of equally focuses on the cops and the drug dealers for the early part.
Okay.
But then sort of every season adds a new element to the city. Like the second season adds the union problem down the docks, so you get all these new characters. The third season goes back to the drug trade, but you get more of this police chief trying to find a way to deal with it. The fourth season is about the school system, so you get there are like a bunch of kid characters who they add in, and then the fifth season's about newspapers and a serial murderer case, basically.
So it's just about Baltimore.
Yeah, basically. Like there's a main character, but like then they get rid of him in a season. They like get rid of him for a couple seasons until he comes back for season 5, basically.
Weird.
It's like a huge cast. And
I heard Omar is great. That's
Omar
what
is
people
great.
say.
He steals from drug dealers.
Okay.
And he's
Speaking of drug dealers,
he walks around with a
Bad
shotgun
as well.
and just walks down the street and people run away.
Breaking Bad?
I like Breaking Bad.
I still need to finish Breaking Bad. I haven't seen the second
far?
half of the last season. The very end I didn't see. It was just because I'd been watching it with my dad, and just we weren't in the mood when that was coming out, and then we never got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only one season, and it's like, what, 10 episodes, 8 episodes? But True Detective last year was really something. I don't know.
Okay.
I was quite impressed by it. But it's one show. And I don't know if season 2 is going to be able to do anything with any of that, because it's a completely different cast of characters in a different state. Like, in a different time. Like, I don't know why, if it's the same show at all. I guess it's just kind of the same showrunner and crime. That's the thread. But, yeah. Anyway, TV
The
shows.
Office.
No.
It's not like that at all.
You should see if Jim and Pam get together.
That show went on
Spoilers,
for
they
too
do.
long.
Along with
Then
the
it
rest of
kept
development, you
Then
can't
there was
trade it
more
in.
show.
Yep. No, I don't look favorably back on my time with The Office.
The Office was fine. You're just full of shit.
No, what? Why you gotta be so mean?
Because
I mean, like
you
most
can't have a
Netflix
good time.
shows, it went on
You
too
just
long.
can't have a good time.
Sometimes.
No, you can't.
But I've been dancing
When's
around shows.
I've been dancing around.
uh,
Like, what show do you have that's just not a drama of some sort?
what?
What's a happy fun time show?
Dude, I watched. Come on, man.
Don't you
put
say
me
it.
in a
Don't.
corner.
No, don't
Dude,
say it.
I watched both. I watched 2 seasons of it again, man. It's good.
Of what?
Whatever. Season 5 starting. What do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about Friendship is Magic.
No,
I
I'm
thought
talking
that's
about,
what you were cornering me
No,
with.
I'm talking about legitimately like a show that's not a cartoon is what I meant. Like a comedy show of some sort.
Oh,
Yeah.
a comedy.
Because if you're
live
gonna say
action.
cartoons, you could just say like I liked The Simpsons for most of its runs. Like
Yo,
there's a bunch
regular
of
show.
cartoon. Regular
Yeah, I guess
show's
so.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. A comedy?
Flight of the Conchords is pretty good.
That was.
Was there only ever was 2 seasons, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huh.
the director and one of the stars, a couple of the characters from it, just made a new movie that's a comedy about
Vampires?
vampires. Yeah,
Yeah,
What
Jermaine
We Call the
Clement, yeah.
Shadows.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning on seeing that this week.
Cool.
Man,
Louis, but
Louis
Yeah.
is good, but
Well,
it's kind of sad.
I was
but
gonna
that's
say-
what makes it great.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. Meowth, you should watch Louie. It's actually really good.
See what it's like to be like a
catch up with
40-something-year-old.
That's not at all like Game of Thrones, though, so don't get the wrong impression. Well, it's kind of like Game of Thrones, but
It is
not.
not.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not at all like Game of Thrones.
Thrones. Dead is the closest in terms of, I think you're right, which is not caring about any of the characters.
And just adding more. And
See, that's the problem. Is the Game of Thrones and Walking Dead had the same problem for me. They start you off with characters you actually do kind of care about, and then you don't, anymore at some point. Where
They just wear out their welcome, or
either they wear out their welcome or they die. They're just straight up dead.
Oh, I like that guy. Oh, he's gone.
Because popular American TV shows have so classically been about characters, and like the rest of the show doesn't matter. These are shows with the characters don't matter. It's just weird that these shows became so popular. Like, I find them more interesting as phenomena than as an actual show to watch, kind of.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, sure.
That is clicking with everybody. Yeah. Mad Men's pretty good. It ends pretty soon. There's that too, but it is again not really like Game of Thrones
like at all.
I mean, there's power struggles and stuff, but it's all with dollars and business.
There was
there was a merger. This is crazy.
There's that time that guy's foot got run over by a lawnmower.
That
and
does
they make
happen.
a joke about his career being over because he can't play golf anymore.
Yeah, and a guy gets shot in the eye in a hunting accident. It's crazy, guys.
And that guy hangs himself.
What? Oh, that guy does hang himself. You're right. That was sad.
There is literally a series that didn't get off the ground, really, I don't think anyway, that is exactly what you're looking for, which is basically Game of Thrones in a lot of respects, but not really. It's a high fantasy book series by Terry Goodkind called the Sword of Truth series. And they tried making a show of it called Legend of the Seeker or something like that. That is probably the exact thing you are looking for a high fantasy world made into a TV show, but I think it had like 2 episodes and flopped because nobody gave a shit. So
where were you? Should have been watching it.
Just watch The Adventures of Hercules. I'm sure that'll fill.
I'm totally wrong.
Selena.
There's actually 2 seasons. There's 44 episodes of that.
Wow.
So you can watch that and tell me how that is. I have a friend that was really into it who's really into high fantasy stuff, so I don't listen to his opinions on high fantasy stuff. Because, like, why would I? It's like, of course he wants it to be good.
You're predisposed towards this whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's called Legend of the Seeker. That sounds like it might literally be exactly what you're looking for. Maybe. But I don't think it's overly violent in the way Game of Thrones is. I don't think there's a lot of incest, which I know you really want to get more of, so I don't know. It might not be for you, but we'll see. That little doll.
It's Kiro.
Anyway.
He's Cerberus.
Next question comes in from Hannah. I don't have a question. I just hope you're doing well. Sickness is in the air, and Paul, I know you were having jaw pains. I'm still having jaw pains. I am gonna get my teeth ripped out soon, and it will go away.
Dentistry.
Yep. This week, actually. Well, this Saturday, thorough cleaning to make sure there's no chance of infection, and then they're gonna schedule me to rip my teeth out. So that'll be fun.
How many? Like
4 wisdom teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad has an amazing dentist horror story, but I won't tell it to you.
No, go ahead.
So he was having teeth pulled once, and he was under, and he started to come out of it a bit, and he just heard screaming. He was like, "Who's screaming? I wonder who that is." And slowly, as he started to come to, he realized it was him.
Oh, God.
He was screaming
God.
really loudly, and the dentist was pulling really hard. The tooth wasn't coming out, and he had like his knee in my dad's chest trying to pull it out until it eventually came out. It was that feeling of hearing screaming, not realizing it was you, and then realizing, oh, I'm the one screaming.
That's a bizarre... How do you dissociate your body and mind? That's all right.
So in other news, I will be living with mouth pain for the rest of my life because I have canceled all my dentist visits. Good Lord.
Yeah, I've been told for years, like, yeah, I get those wisdom teeth out. And it's like, why? They're part of my body. Like, I'll just wash better. Like, I don't know. But
just out of, like, my experiences right now,
yeah,
we are covered with work to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever you find, like, a week off where you just, like, I feel like doing a body modification or something, just
get your wisdom teeth pulled instead.
Because I thought the same thing. They said to me years back, they were just like, you have all 4 of your wisdom teeth still, Do you want to get those pulled because they might cause you problems later down the line? No, they're fine now. They're like, yeah, they're probably going to be fine. Now this wisdom tooth in my right is growing out and pushing my back molar out of its fucking socket, and that is what's hurting. Every time I bite down, there's just extreme pain in my whole face.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever have the inclination to get something ripped out of your head, maybe do it.
Okay. Dental coverage.
Yeah.
I heard you swell up like crazy, though, and have to eat, like, cream corn. I don't want that.
Dude, I don't either. I want to eat a burger again.
Like, I was told once, like, if you eat a lot of vitamin B something, it prevents the swelling from even happening, but I don't know if that's true. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. I went on too long.
No, it's totally fine. That's what we're here for.
What's the next question?
Allison writes in again. I've recently been playing the Layton versus Wright games, so I have to ask you guys, Team Professor Layton or Team Phoenix Wright? I've never played a Phoenix Wright game, so Layton is the default for me, I guess.
Played Phoenix Wright, and that Ace Attorney movie was real good.
I actually heard that too.
It was real good. It's like just the plot of the first game.
I'm trying to, like, I played through the first Phoenix Wright game and the first Professor Layton game with joy, and then the second Layton game kind of started wearing me down. And then I played Miles Edgeworth and couldn't finish it. So I don't know. I kind of have, like, a similar level of, like, probably Layton, I guess, just because I find those games more engaging with all the riddles and puzzles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just more to it. It's not literally just a visual novel that's kind of find the thing to proceed.
Right.
Is it this? No. Is it this? No.
Also the hat.
The hat. Stovepipe. I don't know. But yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So proud of Layton.
Okay.
Yeah, it annoys me when people say there aren't any good video game movies anymore. Because Ace Attorney is literally just the plot of the video game turned into a movie, and
Also,
it's really
Mortal
good.
Kombat Annihilation's out there, so people are
also
dumb.
true.
Wait,
Like that.
the
least
anime
that's
or is
the
there a
look
live? Is the live
It's a
action?
live
movie?
action movie.
Yeah.
With Takeshi Miike made it. It's out. It exists. It's real.
Yeah, I saw it in a theater.
That's
It was a
crazy.
special showing at a Japanese.
Oh, I should watch that. Okay,
Ace
it's just
Attorney.
literally the first video game, all of it.
Yeah, the plot of the first game.
Wow. Okay.
That
It's just
sounds
a legal drama in Japan
There's
with
the
weird
part
things.
when they
There's a
win a trial
ghost?
and the guy throws out confetti. It's sort of
Right.
darker, like more futuristic, a bit in
Okay.
style,
Yeah,
but it's all there. Like the characters are dressed up like those characters.
and there's a ghost in it. He consults a ghost for
Yep.
evidence. And
It has the exact plot of the fucking games.
Fantastic.
Great.
All right. So what was that? I don't know. Layton, Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix
So
Wright.
tie. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Last question comes in from Mario 64 Mario. Most anticipated game releases for this year. Also, Paul, I know you're thinking about getting a Vita. Is it going to be an actual Vita or PSTV? PSTV is pretty limited for game compatibility, but the trade-off is an HDMI output and a PS3/4 controller. Actual Vita, fuck the PSTV. What about the anticipated game releases?
Okay. When every time I check my inbox, my heart sinks a little bit. When the hell is Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC actually coming out? Because I think it's coming in April for me now.
It is.
Yeah, they pushed it back again.
Awesome.
So
It's
the
supposed to
answer
come
is never.
Well, if it's still this year, that remake of that game from like 2 years ago, that was
Sure.
great.
Yeah?
Other than that, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't keep tabs
Yeah,
as
me neither.
So
Theoretically, it's supposed to come out this year, but I could easily see it get pushed back. Persona 5. Maybe not.
actually, you're right. Actually, yes, I have like my Catherine box deluxe edition was. Yeah, I saw it today. I was like, oh yeah, right. There's a new one from those guys coming out. I will play that on a PlayStation 3 in 20 whenever that comes
Yeah.
out.
20 whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to come out 2015. I don't really expect that though.
And I hope I don't want to read the news sometimes because it might just be sad news. But is Zero Escape the third one? Is that guy gonna get to make that? Because god damn it, Virtue's Last
don't
Reward
know.
ends with the greatest tease, and I need to play what they create, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But I want it to happen. So yeah, and I it came up earlier today of just like next gen stuff. Like honestly, like D4 is the only thing I still care about, but it's one episode.
Yeah.
Is Swery ever going to make more, or did it fail? Like, is it done? Dead in the water?
It didn't sell very well from everything I hear, so I don't know.
And it's just downloadable, right? It's not like I can buy a physical disc to like just have it as an insurance thing.
I think it's a prologue and 2 episodes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, so what was that? It was like a port of an old game, Persona 5, which is a legit new thing, and then 2 sequels to things that may or may not ever exist. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't look forward to stuff because then I don't get disappointed.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
Yeah, and video games, it's like who knows when the fuck this shit's gonna come out. So I don't want to. I don't want to. There's so much media out there about stuff.
It's weird though, because I remember when I was like during the GameCube era, like just pre-ordering stuff, getting super excited, reading previews, trailers, whatever.
Even during the early PS3 era.
It's just like, oh man, I can't wait. Oh, I'm gonna get that. I'm so excited. I had like a list, like just giant list of all the games I wanted. Yep. Dumb shit was on there that I never ended up buying, like Vex. I was super excited about Vex. And then,
I have a friend who was super excited about Vex too.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Like I got Star Fox Adventures like day one. Got that T-shirt.
Oh man, Star Fox Adventures.
Yep. But
I got dinosaurs.
Yeah, it does have dinosaurs with like not enough dialogue recorded, so it just repeats over and over. It's kind of like Zelda.
GameCube games have weird audio limitations.
Oh, maybe that contributed.
Yeah, like I think Luigi's Mansion has like 1 song for the whole game.
It kind of does. It's a good song though. Like I got some credits. If it's Koji Kondo, it's like you got to make a song that won't drive people insane if they hear it for like 5 hours, like like all over and over again.
But I think
that's
that
kind
was
of
the
some with
limitation
video game music writing
of those tiny discs was they couldn't fit a lot of music on them.
I could see it.
Weird format thing, but yeah, okay. So yeah, don't look forward to stuff. Just enjoy the moment.
The last thing I looked forward to was GTA 5 on PC. Look where that got me.
Yeah, still sitting here.
That was just a brutal reminder of don't look forward to something because it will just ruin everything.
No, well, like that month in January, I was like, man, can't wait to the end of this month. It's gonna be sweet. And it's just like, no, it's not. Well, can't wait until mid-March. It's gonna be. All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna like. Eventually, it'll come out, and I won't care anymore, and I'll play around in first person for a little bit and be like, "What was I even doing? Like, why was I
Like, I'm not even that looking forward to it. I was just kind of.
I know. I just want to drive around in Los Santos again and listen to music.
I want to do heists.
Yeah, I want to do the multiplayer, honestly, but yeah, whatever.
Do some heists, because I don't have Payday, which is literally all about heists.
The game. Yeah.
Player base for Payday spiked. It's gone up a bit with whatever they done. Before the free weekend even, it did.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. It was like 6 on Steam charts.
They're doing that. You know that, like, mentality of when a club is exclusive?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be in it, sort of thing? They did that. That's the thing Spart was getting so mad about on Twitter. It was basically, there's a $20 overkill pack that you can buy, and you just don't get anything out of it until they release it when this like event is over. So you're paying $20 for like the mystery box, essentially.
Oh, fuck that.
I bought it because there's 2 options. There's 2 ways this could go.
I just hate that shit.
There's 2 ways it could go. Whatever is in the box is so great that every single person that didn't buy it is fucking furious that they didn't get in. Like the people that play Payday, that they didn't get in on it. Or it could go the opposite way, where everybody that paid for it is pissed off that what's in the box was, like, literal dog shit.
Mm-hmm. But you'll get to ride that zeitgeist.
That's kind of the thing. I'm not even riding the zeitgeist, really. Like, I bought it, and then I forgot all about it, and I will look at what it is when they unveil it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me either way because I play that game a lot. I like it. So what's a little bit more money to support them for doing more content eventually? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of gross though.
I mean, yeah. I do like that Evolve has like no player base with all the gross shit they did.
Yeah.
They're down to like 3,000 concurrent players. Like
that's
way down in the charts.
That's 2,000 more than they deserve.
That's like their... I forget what games were down there. Yeah.
There were so many people trying to justify the shit they were pulling too with all that DLC and saying it's all aesthetic and stuff. It's like, yeah, all this stuff in the store day one is aesthetic, which doesn't matter to me because if you buy the game, then sure, like, you can buy other stuff if you want. What bothered me is the fact that there was a bunch of different editions for more money that will unlock game content.
Yep.
Eventually.
And
it's even worse that it's not even... Like, it would actually be better if it had all the problems that it was having or whatever. Wait, we lost the video.
4-hour video call, you lose video.
4-hour video call, you lose video?
I guess so.
Is that what happens now?
I guess that's a new Skype thing.
That's a feature?
Huh.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Okay, well...
What? Group video calling.
Okay, well, it's back, apparently.
I just clicked on the button. Sorry, group video is not available right now.
Except for me? What? I'm not available now?
Hey, Paul's drawing. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm not back.
I guess Microsoft's telling us to talk about heists more. So, do you ever see that movie Heat? I heard that Danny Trejo's like fake blood was still in that apartment like 15 years later when it was still on the market.
Huh.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like just under the carpet.
Is that
it's like, what's this?
Or a problem with it?
I don't know. Like I'd be like, oh, this is the Danny Trejo corner right here, but you can't. I don't know.
But you'd have to like keep all your stuff around it. Like you'd always be, it'd be like a corner of your house that you wouldn't be able to use.
Or like, treat not how you want to. Like set up a table or something there just to kind of keep people off of it. I don't know. That movie's okay. I haven't watched it in a while.
This video is so fucked up. You don't even know. Oh my god. We should end this anyways because it's getting late. So
yeah. All right.
So Nathan, closing thoughts. How does it feel to be talking on the internet?
It's fine. It's like a phone call. Like back in when I was young, I used to phone my friends and talk to them for a long time about like Godzilla movies and stuff. So I'm still doing that essentially. So that's fine. That's on the internet. It's fine.
Does Majora's Mask go in the barrel?
Yeah. Sadly, I think just misplaced N64 nostalgia goes in the barrel, and its personification is that game now. There's things I like about it, but there was so many little tedious things I'd totally forgotten about, and yeah, all kind of came to a head in the Great Bay Temple. So yeah, if people out there are still enjoying it, that's cool, but I guess it's worth playing through once in your life, but you can't play through it again. Sure. Like it's not worth it again, which is probably true of a lot of video games. But I thought this one would be one of those transcendent ones, and it wasn't for me. So yeah, I'm almost worried about some of my plans of the past to like play through Deadly Premonition again and like stuff like that, because it's just like, well, I had that thrill ride once, and it was like a full 40-hour thing. Like I spent a lot of time with it. Do I need to do that again? Like maybe if I forget how the whole story plays out, but I won't. Like I remember the ridiculous dumb stuff that happens at the end of that game. So I don't know. Replaying stuff, like maybe that's like almost one of the things I really like. I brought up Shadow of the Colossus before briefly, just talking about Team Eco stuff, but I like how short it is because you can kind of just jam through it and see 16 unique boss battles and then you're done. Like it's replayable in a weird way that I don't know. Hopefully that still stands up to, though. I didn't finish it last time I played it. Games, they're not movies. I watch movies over and over again. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess a movie about a city planner wouldn't be interesting, really. So they have their role, right?
It's like, oh, I got to design these subways differently. This is terrible. It's like, no, just
It could be
play a video game.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe.
depend. I could see how they could do it interesting though. It could happen.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Scott Pilgrim the game or Scott Pilgrim the movie?
It
Or the
doesn't matter,
comic book?
The game doesn't exist anymore.
What? What do you mean?
The game doesn't exist anymore.
They can't sell it anymore.
They lost licensing fees, so it's no longer available to anybody.
One of those games.
What? But like, if you own it already, you can play it.
I don't know, actually. I would assume so.
I think you can, but you might not be able to re-download it if you lose your download copy.
Oh, that's shitty. So
That might happen.
Ubisoft didn't renew their license or something, and it's just gone now.
Maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe
It's usually
Onipress-
licensing deals. That's what
maybe
happens.
Onipress sold it to somebody else.
I guess that's a weird
It's usually
thing.
those deals expire and people don't rebuy them. Is why that kind of stuff happens.
I guess that's always been true. You're right, but like, since there's not a physical copy, it's not like someone has a backup of it, so it's just like gone now.
Yeah.
That's just a weird, like, oh, I can't, Friday the 13th for the NES, they're never going to re-release that because who would bother? But I can buy the cart at like a garage sale and play it. Like, it still exists. Whereas, yeah, I'm just boned if I want to play that. That's actually been one of my fears with D4 is it's just going to go off the servers eventually, and I will never have downloaded it to an Xbox One because I didn't have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And then I'm just fucked. I can never see what that was. Which, that's not a problem. It's like, oh, I'll just buy that movie later, or I'll just buy a Dreamcast and those game discs, and then I can play it.
I think Candonia in the chat may be speaking some truth. He's saying licenses are time of purchase, so if you bought it, then you have it, but if not, then you can't now.
Yeah.
Thing. So that makes
But
sense.
there are a lot of a lot of the licensed fighting games on XBLA fell off, don't exist on it anymore.
Yeah.
You can't buy them.
Yeah, the first time I encountered that was the what is that beat 'em up Double Dragon, the remake that was on Xbox Live
Neon?
Arcade. No, there was just like a port of it that was on Xbox Live Arcade
Same
in
with
like
Contra,
2007.
actually.
Yeah, those Konami. I bought it and then it was just like, no, you can't play it anymore.
The
And then
weird
I
thing
tried
about those is
re-downloading it and it wouldn't even work.
There's discs, though, with those on them.
Oh, like weird
Arcade
XBLA compilations?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
I don't know if, that one specifically on it, but Contra is.
Oh, right. I bought it, but then the 360, I bought it on bricked, like red ringed, and then I got a new one, so I had to be on Xbox Live to then re-download my stuff, but it had since been taken down, so I just have like this useless demo that can't be upgraded to the real game. But it's like a shitty port of Double Dragon, so who cares? But it's still kind of weird.
I don't know who Fuckface Unstoppable is, but that's making me even more nervous. They said, hey guys, I'm watching you from the hospital. I might die. Wisdom tooth removal gone wrong. Enjoy the show. Enjoying the show.
It's just messing with you. It's fine.
It's a dick move. If you want to play something like Scott Pilgrim again, though, the creators of that put out another game on Steam called Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play that. It's basically Scott Pilgrim without licensed characters, and in a way kind of better for that reason. So they can create their own environments and bosses and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but between the comic book and the movie,
Yeah.
I like the comic book better.
Hmm.
But the movie, I like the movie a lot too. So
Yeah.
Any interest
I
in
think I agree.
did either of you read Brian Lee O'Malley's follow up?
Yes, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I've seen it in stores and stuff and kind of looked at it, but what's it about? I don't even really.
Is that the one with the girl going on vacation or something? Is that what we're talking about, or is that the one before?
Second.
Lost Sea or something?
Lost
was her
Sea,
thing.
Was that before?
That was before Scott Pilgrim.
Okay, sorry, I didn't read the follow-up. Then I read Lost Sea.
I think I have it over here. Let me see if I can find it. Seconds, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
This thing.
that's the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't read that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, what's it about?
What's this? It's about a a woman she's like a chef, and she's going to open her own restaurant. And she has like this place she buys is like haunted by this weird girl who steals her sweater.
Yeah,
It's sort of owl-like.
Okay.
All right.
It's good.
Haunted
I recommend it.
There you go. And there you have it.
That's it. That's
Burning
the
Barrel.
podcast.
N64 era stuff went in there.
Hank, what are you throwing in?
Chappie,
71.
probably.
71
Yeah.
goes in the barrel.
Anything for the barrel, Paul? Or, like,
This week, no.
not like, misplaced MOBA knowledge or something? Like, people.
No.
People
Okay.
go in the barrel.
Yeah, people. I mean, if you cut them up enough, you can throw them in the barrel.
There you have it. On that grim note. March 17th now, 2015.
That sounds about right. That sounds like
Yeah.
the date. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. I'm tired now.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
going to
fair
be
enough.
back, or are you done forever?
No, I'll be back at some point once I've stored up some things to say.
Okay.
Gotta charge that energy.
Yeah, charge up the
Just-
media stuff. I mean, I didn't even talk about the life and death of Colonel Blimp, so stay tuned to next time. Yeah,
Holding
it's like
out.
2-hour, 40-minute British movie from the 40s. Super good. Oh
That
my
sounds
god.
terrible. That sounds
No,
so
it's
bad.
so good, but it's so nuanced as to how I can explain why I thought it was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did stuff for me. I thought it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in next time for that, maybe.
Hell yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
Alan Pressburger for life.